can feel it. I can feel the power. Yes. Yeah.
Your ultimate travel companion. Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
All right, family, we are live. Welcome to another show. It is your man BMT in the building. Hope you guys are hearing me loud and clear. We got a great topic to talk about tonight, man. We're going to discuss, is the travel or the golden era, a lot of people miss that point, is the golden era of the travel space over? Now, I had a good conversation with an old friend of mine, not old friend, but an OG of mine who's been traveling for a long time. He's been traveling since the 90s. He kind of helped usher me into the travel space to a certain degree. Of course, it was Charles Tyler, some other guys at the Black Man's Option. But we had a good conversation last night. And, he was talking about, I was telling him, I told him, I said, hey, I'm happy that I felt like I caught the tail end of Colombia, basically, of Medellin. And he was like, you didn't catch the tail end of anything. It was already over. And keep in mind, I was visiting Medellin back in 2019. All right. But he had already previously been out there 2007, 2008 and everything like that. So, it bears the question, okay, is this so-called, because we know travel is still going to be around, tourist destinations still going to be around, and there's a lot more people traveling these days. There's a lot more people living overseas now than probably ever before. All right. A lot of people trying to escape inflation. A lot of people trying to escape, the dating woes of the Western countries, basically. I mean, I'm in a bank, in a mall, and I meet an Australian guy. He's talking about how terrible dating is in Australia. All right. So guys are trying to escape states for different reasons. And because of that, I feel like there's been an influx of more people, male and female, going to these, once hidden spots. I would say hidden, right? Because I didn't know anything about Medellin until probably about 2018, 2019. I mean, of course, I always heard of Medellin because of, the Pablo Escobar, thing, the glorification of him and the drugs and everything like that. But I never thought it to be a tourist destination. Okay. Guys, press 1 in the chat if I'm coming through loud and clear for me. Make sure I'm coming through loud and clear. You guys can hear me and make sure the stream isn't broken before I start chopping it up. All right, with the family. All right. Let me catch these comments real quick. Shout out to my man Brandon Clark is in the building. Salute, bro. Salute. Okay. Everybody's hitting 1. Kevin Johnson, he's also a member. Shout out to you, Kevin Johnson. Kevin, I'm about to release a video on how I met my Thai wife I'm gonna put it in the app and also the membership. I already got the video done. I'm just gonna put some B-roll to it, so be on the lookout for that as well. What up in the building? Oh, it's Jay Clyde. See, Jay Clyde, he's a good person to talk to this about because he's been going to Colombia for a long time and Brazil as well. All right. Somebody said, I think the novelty is over. All right. Caesar Forte 617 said, it's just the beginning. Men need to explore. You 100% correct on that too. Mr. Dacus, the Navigator, 4889. Now for me, I got retirement income waiting. Shout out to you, man. All right. So towards the end of this stream, before I do the panel, I'm also going to give out three destinations, three cities, 3 countries rather, that are up and coming. A lot of you guys might not have heard about or know about it. I'm gonna put that later on down in the stream. All right, for the the hardcore guys to to take a look at that information. Basically, like I said, I got 3 countries, 3 cities that I think you guys might enjoy. Less touristy. It's still tourists, but not many American tourists. So I know you guys gonna like it because right now, in my opinion, tourism, right? Tourism is the new thing. It's not new, but countries are starting to realize how profitable tourism is. All right, how it can bring a country or a city up in GDP, basically. I mean, you're basically paying double, triple the price of these products. These rental properties, you're paying double, triple the price. So these countries are making a lot of money. These cities are making a lot of money based off tourism. So I do believe that, the next few years, 5, 10 years, that's going to be where these countries, these cities basically will designate an area, right? They're going to price hike this area, but they know tourists and foreigners are more comfortable amongst each other. No matter how you try to spin it, no matter how you try to say, oh, I'm just going to be one with the locals. Oh, it's about the culture. I get it. It's about all that too. And I have many Colombian friends, Venezuelan friends, Thai friends, Brazilian friends, but it's about comfortability and it's about a certain standard. And most of you, whether you want to recognize it or not, despite some of the guys that like standing in the favelas and the barrios and stuff, most of you guys have certain standards and are more comfortable around English-speaking people, whether they white, black, green, or yellow. You're going to be, especially when you live in these countries, you're going to be more comfortable kind of amongst each other. And when I say amongst each other, America has a culture, all right? Whether black and white, you have a certain culture. You like certain foods. You like certain, sports, basically. I see a lot of guys with the Colombian jerseys and everything, the Brazilian jerseys. I get it. I love watching it to a certain degree, but let's be real. I can only watch maybe a game or two of soccer a year and really, really be into it. You're going to be more so on the football and basketball side because that's culture. That's your culture. So these cities are recognizing this, and they're starting to come down the line and say, hey, we're about to make these areas safe. All right. And we're about to become very profitable because we're going to pretty much up-hike everything, every single product from the bubble gum to the taxi rides. All right. We're going to price hike everything and basically profit 2, 3, in some cases, even 4 times. All right. Somebody said Password Bros gets this. BMT, thanks to your channel, I discovered back in 2021, I moved abroad and moved to Malaysia and married a Malaysian chick. Life is good. Shout out to you, man. Congrats. Congrats to you. I'm recently married as well. So congrats to you, bro. Congrats to you. Somebody talking about the tethers. All right. But like I said before, towards the end of the stream, before I bring on the panel, I'm going to give you guys a few destinations that's on the come up. All right. Somebody said, wow, y'all still single, LMAO, okay. That's a big misnomer too, man. That's another thing they try to put on the passport bros. That the passport bros are just looking for random hookups and trying to take advantage of the local women and all that BS. But, a lot of the stories, since it doesn't fit certain content creators' narratives, they skip over the guys that have actually traveled overseas, got in long-term relationships, got married, okay, had children, they living overseas, they happy. They skip that whole thing because the 90-day fiance thing is way more popular, is way more entertaining. That being said, I got to pull something up. Hold on, let me pull something up real quick. You know, now for every plus, there's a minus. And I'm going to pull up, hold on, where is it at? Let me make sure I share the right screen on you guys. Hold on, which one is it? Is this one. All right. So this post got a hella comments. All right. Shout out to everybody in the Passport Bros Facebook group. If you haven't joined the Passport Bros Facebook group, this is the original Passport Bros Facebook group. It's a private group, you know, all the guys and everything like that. There's a lot of knockoff groups that came after Passport Bros and everything like that. But this is the original group. This group has actual guys traveling the world. You're going to get a lot of information in this group. And if you want to surpass that and get even more information and make money off your actual posts, you can download the Passport Bros app as well. I say that disclaimer because it's a lot of Passport groups, and it's just a whole bunch of back and forth arguing, stuff like that. It's people scamming in the groups, all right? They got the females in the groups. So, you know, when the guy posts his, you know, his foreign chica and his travel experience, you know, they're going to be hella hate. So this is the original group. They got the eagle on it. You know, this is the original Passport Bros group. All right. Shout out to Jay Clyde said, facts. Everybody is their relationship. Everybody not broadcast relationships for y'all entertainment. Exactly, Jay Clyde. It's a lot of guys that's married, bro. It's a lot of guys that's been in long-term relationships overseas. Do not let that 90-day fiance shit fool you. Now, unfortunately, this story is, you know, not that. So let me click on this. Let me read this for you guys. Hold on. All right. And so here we go. Got the gentleman here. And I believe the gentleman actually posted this in the group as well. He actually posted this group, but this is a repost by someone else. All right. Or this actually might be the post. I might have actually found the post of this guy. So you see the pictures of him. He's in Colombia. Look like that's Medellin. All right. All right. So it goes on to say, I flew overseas for love and came back with a lesson. Met this woman from Colombia years ago. Was started as a late night FaceTimes turned into 3 whole years of talking every single day. Promises, plans, forever conversations. I learned her language, her culture, her family. I really believe God sent her to me. Okay? I flew out there, we locked in, and got married. Did the paperwork, paid the lawyers, fought the system, got her visa approved. Brought her to the United States like a man who was proud of his wife. First few weeks, red flag right there. He said first few weeks, not first few years. First few weeks, cool. First month, still cool. By month 3, several red flags. Phone always face down. Password suddenly changed. Over time, every other night. Energy completely different. The love felt expired. Whole time I'm thinking I'm tripping. Nah, turns out my intuition was screaming. Come to find out, she was sleeping with a coworker at the same job she got because she was married to me. Damn. In the same country I brought her to, under the same roof I was paying for. 3 years of loyalty traded for a few months of opportunity. She did not want love. All right, so hold on. I got Jay Clyde already in the damn comment. Says, so hold on, Jay Clyde. She didn't change in 3 months. She was always that. He didn't vet her properly. Well, how do you vet her? 3 years. Jay Clyde, how can you say that man did not vet that woman after 3 years? Now, let me tell you this. This is somewhat a common thing. You know, I've been through it too, to a certain degree, not at this level, but I have dated in Colombia and the DR. And when that conversation comes up about them going back or returning back to the States with me or wanting to live in America, for me, the relationship is over. As soon as I peep game that they want to move back to the States with me, all right, because I had a Venezuelan woman who is, matter of fact, let me just say this, tell you this, guys, this little story. So I was dating a Venezuelan woman, beautiful Venezuelan. She told me she had no kids, all right? She told me she was just, she worked hard, stuff like that. And I was thinking to myself, I said, damn, you are beautiful. Like, it's just rare to have a woman almost 30 with no children, right? So we was talking for a few weeks, and then she was telling me, she was like, yeah, I'm trying to get to America so I can work and make more money to help my family, all right? Red flag. So I slowly kind of cut her off and everything like that, kind of moved on. And I saw her posting pictures on Facebook, right? She's in Texas somewhere. I'm not going to name the city. She's in Texas. So I said to myself, damn, how'd she get to, she don't speak no English, by the way. I'm like, how'd she get to Texas? So I'm seeing her, in Texas. She never posted the guy. So I asked her, I said, hey, are you in a relationship? Like, I see you in America now. Are you in a relationship? She was like, yeah, I'm in a relationship. I'm married. I'm like, okay. But this whole time, she's posting the most revealing photos of herself on Instagram, on TikTok. All right. I mean, she's practically butt-ass naked, right? And I'm sitting here like, damn, for a married woman, you should be posting a lot of thirst traps. Come to find out, this woman got 2 kids. All right. So she lied to me about that. She lied to me about having kids. She had 2 teenage kids, basically. All right. And she's in America just doing her. I don't know if she's still with the dude, but she's thirst trapping like a mug, and she has a construction job at that. So in my head, I'm like, oh, if she has a construction job, she's gonna play that she's gonna do the hypergamy monkey branching at that job. Like, she's gonna take that job as an opportunity to find out who's the boss, who has the money, and who's gonna simp the most, because she's exotic and she's very fine. She's fine as all outdoors. She's very pretty. All right. I'm talking about all natural, all the things that most brothers like. Like, she could be a stripper in Magic City, basically, all natural. Like I said before, Venezuelan Dominicans are the best looking women to me naturally, in my opinion. So they do that. They would get you out there in Colombia, all right? They'll tell you, a whole lot. They'll hide their kids from you. You'll meet somebody you think their family, really their boyfriend, their cousin, whoever. They really need to get to the United States. So to finish off this story, the guy's basically trying to get her deported right now. And depending on the time frame, he might be able to get her deported. He might not be able to get her deported. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button for your boy. Let me go ahead. Like I said, he covered her picture and everything out of respect. But like I said before, I've been through that with a few females out there in Colombia. All right, I talked to a chick in Barranquilla for 7 months before I moved to Colombia. And she was the polar opposite of what she represented herself to be. Okay, she was trying to become a lawyer in the United States. That was a red flag to me. She had an attitude. She acted like nothing. She didn't cook anything. She was just polar opposite. She just gamed me, basically. All right. And it's funny because she didn't want me to move to Medellin. I was in Barranquilla at first. If you guys know my journey, I was in Barranquilla at first, and then I moved to Medellin. But as I was in Barranquilla, we went out with her sister to Cartagena and met with a couple of guys that I had met online. And, that's a whole nother story. I had to pay for everything because he lost his wallet. But anyway, he kept telling me about Medellin. And I went to Medellin, and the rest is history. Brendan Clark says, don't bring them back to the States. Well, this is the thing, man. At some point, you know, a lot of guys are kind of anchored to the States. They got their property in the States. They work in the States, you know, and it's just more convenient to, you know, have your woman in America. I don't suggest it personally. You know, I don't believe in bringing them back to the United States, but some guys do. Oh, where my guy Jay Clyde at? He says, not my job to tell niggas how to spot red flags. I don't know, Jay Clyde. 3 years, bro. 3 years. Somebody said BMT story time. You know I got to hit you with a story time. We got 128 in the room. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button for your boy. We got Lamb 14 says, keep them where you met them. Rule number 1. All right. Somebody said, help the family and the brother. Somebody said she looks musty. How you know she look musty? Get her out. We got a couple of trolls in the book, man, in the room. Guys, do me a favor, get the trolls up out of here, man. All right. Shout out to my man, Daryl Travels. Daryl Travels has been doing a lot of dope travel vlogs. Make sure to follow him on YouTube, guys. I think is that the Qatari? $10? I'm not sure, bro. Married overseas, no plans for USA. There's hope. Shout out to my man, Daryl Travels. He does a lot of good travel content. And you know what, guys? What's crazy to me is there are so many new good travel channels out there with guys dropping good information, all right, about, you know, where to go to. They recommending places to go, and that's big. That is big. For some odd reason, they're not getting the same amount of traction or views or subscribers as what I call the thirst trap YouTubers that got ass all in their thumbnails and shit. But, you know, there's a lot of good, new, genuine travel content. Shout out to my guy, Angela, AJ. I interviewed him and his Filipino wife. He drops a little good content. It's a beautiful world out there, man. It really is, guys. So make sure to check out some of these travel channels. Also, Daryl Travels, I appreciate the super chat, my brother. Appreciate that. Good looking out. And I appreciate you uploading on the Passport Bros app as well, bro. CC92 says the ultimate goal should be to become an expat. Yeah, that should be the ultimate goal. That should be the ultimate goal, guys. Somebody say Passport Bros is getting snitching. Okay. All right. Okay, let me hold on. Let me get some of these trolls out of here. Hold on. Let me get you guys kind of out of here a little bit. Buck Travel, $64.99. Buck, I don't know if you friend the foe, bro. I be hearing you on the hater chat. If it's the same Buck Travel, this might be a different one. But I be hearing you on some of the little hater channels and everything. I don't know. You might as well marry an American chick if you think about bringing a foreign chick back. Listen, a friend of my pops brought a Brazilian chick back from Brazil. I believe he was ex-military. He brought a Brazilian chick back, and they've been married 30, 40 years, okay? So I'm not saying that it's impossible. I've seen it work before, right? I've known several guys that have married foreign women and been fine. Like my bro Jay Clyde said, it is really about vetting her, but it can always turn sour. You know, I think it's certain rules of engagement personally, right? If you got a young woman, impressionable, in her 20s, and you got her working at a construction job in Texas somewhere, you know, if it's a situation like that, I would be weary, okay? Now, if she's like maybe an older woman in her 30s, she wants to be taken care of, she don't really want to work like that, she don't mind taking care of home, you know, that situation might be a little different, all right? So it really depends. Or if she wants to go to school, that's cool. It really depends, man. Like I say, you can say vetting all day long, but women change, people change, bro. You know, you just got to take it on the head and move on. That's the best therapy for me. personally, and that should be the best therapy for you. Just knowing that, okay, if you went out there, I know you wasted time and resources, but you can go right back out there again and get a good one. All right. Maybe not be so quick to get married next time. And you guys are here clowning the guy. Listen, I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny when a guy gets played or used like that, and he gets blamed. Women are tricky, bro. I don't know what you guys feel like you guys got superior game, but women are very tricky. That's one of their strong points. They might be not physically stronger than men, and in some cases, in some dimensions, not smart as men. But in that particular dimension of deception and beauty, they run it. And I don't care who you is. All right. You got NFL players, NBA players, men of wealth, getting played. Like when I see Tariq Hill, and I don't judge nobody's looks, I'm a man, but when I see Tariq Hill and I see his now ex-wife, I'm like, Tariq, you didn't, come on, brother. You know what I'm saying? You got a face only a mom could love, dude. Like you dating this beautiful, gorgeous, you know what I'm saying, Delicia Corden type of woman. You didn't think she was after your paper, bro? You just thought you pulled her because, you just got swag and come on, man. You got to know better. All right, we got a couple of trolls in here. But like I say, anybody can get played. Anybody can get played, bro. What up, Zansel's Clutch? Somebody said foreign K Sagar 1-2. You changed your name, bro. I see the thumbnail. I see the icon. Foreign women divorce rate is only 18%. It depends. The divorce rate in Thailand is quite high, actually. Yeah, it's true, Daryl. Doom and gloom, dudes, chair. We in here, man. We got 141 in the room. I'm gonna start calling you. It's J Code. It's J Clyde. I'm gonna start calling you. It's J Code. Tell him to find another one. Who cares if they are tricky? All right. You guys, bro. You guys are so funny, bro. You guys be cold-hearted out here. I swear. Cold as ice. But yeah, anyways, this got a ton of comments. And I believe he actually posted this in the group. But like I said, this is a repost, I believe. But he actually posted this in the group. All right. So shout out to everybody in the Passport Bros Facebook group. Let me get on up out of there. Hold on. All right. Oh, but I do want to talk about this right here. All right. Now, I'm not getting right to the point right now. I'm gonna still save it for a little later on down the stream. But if you guys didn't know, American Airlines is to fly to Venezuela for the first time since 2019, making return of U.S. service. Okay, so Venezuela already is opening back up. Somebody said women are not tricky. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I feel like deception, manipulation run hand in hand with just a woman's natural being, no matter where you at on God's green earth, bro. I just feel like, in some cases, violence and power go along with men. I think deception, manipulation, all right, goes along with women, in my personal opinion. Like I have yet to meet a woman that wasn't a little deceptive in some cases, all right? Jansen Close says, salute BMT. Let me know if you need an extra amount to get these trolls out of here. I don't see a lot of trolls in here today, bro. I don't see a lot of them in the day, but I got them on subscriber mode right now. All right. So a lot of guys don't know that Venezuela is actually closer to the states than Colombia. On top of Venezuela has a lot of beautiful islands. And we're going to go further in the stream. We're going to go over the 3 countries that I mentioned, all right, that might be on the come up. But Venezuela, man, if they can get Venezuela right, if they can get it safe, if they can get their currency back in order, It's going to be definitely a new play. Somebody said, don't give up your leverage. All right. No, I didn't say go to Venezuela right now. I didn't say go to Venezuela right now. That's not what I said. I'm just telling you that they opening back up. Somebody said let them get a tourist visa if they want to travel to the USA. If he's only been married for less than a year, I forgot how many days it is, but he might can get her on up out of there. He might can get her on. I forgot how many months or days, but if I'm not mistaken, hold on. Hold on, let me just see because he might can get her on up out of here. Let me see. Hold on, family. Let me. It's moving kind of slow. Hold on. Oh, there's no time limit. Oh, you got about. Oh, so the green card is it's conditional for about 2 years. Yeah, he can go and get on up out of there. He gonna have the last laugh on that. He gonna get up out of here. And she cheating? And she cheating with a coworker too? Oh yeah. Yeah, he can get on up out of there. Somebody say he might not be able to locate her. Shit, she cheating with a coworker. He know where she work at. He know how she getting money. Dow Travel says so many men bring women back to the States. We only hear about the horror stories because those are more interesting. Facts. Like I said, you got a whole TV show, a hit TV show, 90 Day Fiance, based off of people finessing. You know, you'll never see a productive relationship on that show. Somebody say fast women are beyond. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about in the chat. Talking about women. Man, you must not know women too well. You must not know women too well. You must have a low, what's that? What's the word I want to use? Not gauge. But like I said, your experiences must be limited when it comes to women. If you don't think they can be manipulative and deceptive. Yeah, but all you have to do is pour her the ice. Okay, so personally, I've never met any guy that got. Like the guys I know that did bring their women back to the States, they're still married. So personally, like I said, I've seen it work out more so than I've seen it not work out. The stories you hear mostly are going to be, on the internet, basically. All right, let me get you on up out of here. Let me get you on up out of here. I got a couple of trolls. Let me get some of these trolls up out of here. I got to give some more mods out too. Hold on, let me clear this up real quick. 90 Day Fiance is good propaganda to keep men from traveling. Right, correct. All right. All right, let me get some of these guys up out of here, the bots. The bots have been hitting a lot of people's channel lately. I see they hit Tariq's channel. Yeah, I got you, Examples. I'm gonna get you a mod too. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you a mod too. But let me get to some. Hold on, let me I want to pull something up real quick. Hold on, give me a second. Let me remove this. Remove this. So we discussed Venezuela. All right. Venezuela has a lot of islands. All right. They got Margarita Island. I forgot the other island they got, but I know my personal assistant used to always tell me about these beautiful looking islands off the coast of Venezuela. I'm talking about beautiful. You got the little boats, shuttle little boats to the island off there. And like I said before, if they can kind of get Venezuela in order, they already opened up flights to get out there. That might be a new play. I'm not saying this year or next year, but in the next few years, if Venezuela is on the come up, I do believe that that could be a new destination for guys. Yeah, Brandon Clark, I got you too. I got you too. I'm gonna give you. I'm marking you down, brother. I'm gonna give you a wrench. Don't worry. No worries. All right, let me see if I can find this video. Hold on, family. Let me see if I can find this video. We in here. Let me see, man. Where is this video at? Okay, it's on all videos. I'm gonna give you guys another country I believe is really on the come up. I can find this video. Where's my Vietnam stuff? All right, hold on, family. I had this bad boy pulled up. All right. Another country that's quietly getting up there, and I'm getting a lot of good reports, is going to be Vietnam. Okay? I'm looking for my Vietnam nightlife video. But Vietnam, man, I've been getting calls from guys that moved to Vietnam, Da Nang in particular, and they really enjoying it. The thing about it is it's cheaper too than Thailand. All right. Da Nang has a beach right now. When I went out there, it was cold season, but I could see the setup. They have a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants. The food is good. It's very reasonable out there. Like I said, the weather wasn't good, but you guys might want to check out Da Nang. Just make sure it's not the rainy season when you do come out here. It's about an hour flight. The flight goes up and comes right down. You can leave out of Bangkok. You can get an extra stamp on your passport. You do need an e-visa before you go. All right, so make sure you have an e-visa. The e-visa takes about 3 to 5 days to get back to you. So make sure you have that visa and make sure you have that e-visa the time you are there, basically. So if you're going to be there from the 17th to the 20th, make sure you be sure your e-visa is good from the 17th to the 20th. All right. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, Venezuela's nice. In fact, in Venezuela, yeah. There's a couple of good, nice beaches out there. Like I said, my personal assistant, Marie, used to always show me how beautiful Venezuela was. Oh, yeah. Somebody said I might like Cambodia more than Vietnam. Cambodia is nice, family. Cambodia is nice. I'm not going to hold you. All right. Like I said, you got all types of islands out there. And the islands of Venezuela is beautiful, by the way, family. Hold on. Hold on, family. Let me. One. All right, hold on. Let me pull this up. I got One of these islands I want to show you guys. Computer's running a tad bit slow. Just be patient with me, family. Hold on. We're going to show you one of the islands. All right. All right, hold on. It's pulling up. Oh, here we go. All right, so hold on. I can teach you a lot about Cambodia, by the way. I love Cambodia too. I'll be going to Cambodia soon, actually. I went to Phu Quoc in 2023. I think that's the island that you can fly there, but you can't fly out of, if I'm not mistaken. There are so many new hotels being built there now. The tourism is really ramping up. Cambodia has that brand new airport. Shout out to you once again. I appreciate the. Is that a Qatari Daryl Travels? What currency is that? But shout out to you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Okay, good question, travel lover 7833. Salute BMT. I got a special surprise. I'm glad you mentioned that. What's the update on your Money Monday financial guide? We're trying to see how Albania went for him. Did he get married? Check this out. I'm going to do an actual interview. He's going to be here, I believe, this week or next week. All right. So I'm actually going to be interviewing him. I'm just waiting for him to hit me up. He's going to be coming into town. I might meet him in Bangkok. I might meet him out here in Pattaya. So I'm glad you asked that question, Travel Love. I'm gonna say that you mentioned that too, by the way. All right, so let me show y'all a little bit of Venezuela real quick. Where we at? Hold on, family. Hold on. I'm gonna drop a link in the panel soon. All right. So this is one of the islands out there, family. I'm just gonna play a little bit of his video. Oh, that's my guy Rami. Shout out to my man Rami. All right, shout out to my man Rami, man. Me and Rami, we used to kick it in Medellin a lot.
Energy too?
Damn.
So big, bro. I think it's like 1 hour ago. Oh, that looks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Fill it for foreigners.
Oh yeah.
Would you like to take a picture with her?
Look at this car.
All right. This is Margarita Island, guys. It's Margarita Island out there in Venezuela. Oh, it's a Qatar Royal. Okay, appreciate that, Daryl. Appreciate that.
It's gonna take me only 20 cents.
Did he just say it's going to take him 20 cents?
The AI toolkit is live on Artlist.
All right, so hold on. Let me get past this video real quick.
AI tool you need for video creation is now organized for you.
Just hand it over.
All that's missing is
Shout out to my man Rami.
All right, buenos dias, guys. Welcome to Isla Margarita in Venezuela.
He went a couple of
right
years
now, I'm
ago.
like in El Centro, which is called Plaza Bolivar. This is my first time here, so I don't know what to expect. There is like many beaches on this island. It's my first day. Bro, I see so many people, they're looking at me like I am the only foreigner on this island, bro. Like I don't see anybody else here right now. This is right now El Centro. This is like where tourists don't come here. And it's for me so funny because people warn me like I should be careful here with my stuff. Like I took 2 taxis to get here, and I would say let's go, vamos. But here we go. I never thought one day I will be right now here in Isla Margarita.
See, Remy will be all right. He blend in a little bit out there. He'll be all right. All right. But as you guys can see, you know, Venezuela, once they get it safe, once they dedicate to tourism, that might be the next spot. That might be the next, especially those islands off the coast. Brandon Clark says Venezuela will be the new Colombia. Vietnam will be the new Thailand. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, I'm hearing a lot of good things about Vietnam right now. All right. The only, like I said, I went to Da Nang. I had a great time. I met a brother out there. You know, it was dry at first, but I ended up meeting a brother out there in the club, and he was showing me and my man. I forgot my man's name. What's my man's name? I totally forgot my man's name. Forgive me. But he was showing us around, and we met a sister from Chicago, I believe, and we was following him to different clubs and bars. Total dope nightlife out there in Vietnam. Total unexpected. All right. Let me get these damn trolls out of here, man. Hold on. All right. So like I said before, I'm not saying exactly which city. I do believe one of the islands is going to start popping off out there. And if you like, it's like when I came out here during COVID, right? Came to Pattaya. It was barely people here. It was barely clubs and bars over. There was barely any traffic. And that's the Pattaya I actually fell in love with. Not the new Pattaya with hella traffic, hella foreigners, you know, hella other ethnic groups I won't mention. You know, speaking of Pattaya, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on. There was a murder out here. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but there was actually a brutal murder out here. All right. And it's been all over the news. Hold on, these Russian cats. This was over like some cannabis dispute. Let me play this real quick. Hold on. All right. And these guys tortured the guy, killed him, chopped up his body parts, left him like in a little pond. And they caught the guys right away because they looked at the guy's text messages. And apparently the guy owed a debt of $120,000 for a cannabis business out here, right? This is the talk of the town right now in Pattaya. And I know we talk about how safe Thailand is, but stuff still goes on, mainly amongst the other ethnic groups, all right? You know, this is Russian on Russian crime, basically. And it's always like some type of brutal ass murder out here, like at least once or twice a year. I think last year it was some other European guys. But let me play some of this. Let me see. Hold on. Let me play this. Where is this at? Here we go. Is it playing? Why is it playing? Hold on. Okay, it must not have no audio. That's the guy. So if you guys don't know, there are cameras all around Thailand, especially the major cities like Pattaya and Bangkok and Phuket. All right, Chiang Mai. Let me give me this audio real quick. So that's him. They got him on the cameras leaving the scene. They basically caught him dead ringer. All right. Oh, it's not. Hold on. Check this out, guys. There they go. Okay. Okay, that's the family of the victim. Hold on. When I talk about, hold on, oh, damn it. So yeah, that's oh God damn, this shit all over the place. All right. Yeah. So that's the big talk of the town right now. They had tortured the guy, chopped his body up, basically, put the body parts all over the pond. It's not even too far from where I live at. It might be about 20 minutes away. So yeah, that was pretty much Russian on Russian crime. The cannabis industry has been hitting hard out here. A lot of people, open up these dispensaries. Thailand changed the laws on them. So a lot of profits just wasn't there. And probably, business goes bad, but god damn, this, you can always get money again, bro. Like I said, the cannabis industry just got hit kind of hard. It's just way too many dispensaries out here, family. It's like thousands of dispensaries out here. So many so that, apparently the prices of the plant has plummeted. So the money is not being made. And turns out business went bad. They were trying to extort the guy, torture the guy, killed the guy. So that's pretty bad. All right. All right. Like I say, guys, we're just going to ignore the trolls. Somebody paid for some little service. I've already notified the property powers that be. There's a couple of African guys that have been trolling people's channels. A couple of African troll dudes. All right. Let me go ahead and drop a link. I'm going to drop a link if anybody want to pull up before we go. We've been at it for about an hour now. All right. We've been at it for about an hour now. So we talked about Vietnam. We talked about Venezuela possibly open up. What is the third country? All right. It's another country. Now, I haven't been to this country. All right. But they're saying, all right, El Salvador, actually. El Salvador might be coming into the field. El Salvador just created a Bitcoin passport. All right. A crypto Bitcoin passport. A lot of people think it's a real passport. It's not a real passport. This was big news in the travel space. El Salvador, they moved their currency to Bitcoin. I don't suggest ever spending Bitcoin. I suggest, letting Bitcoin, make you money. The fuck just send me a message. Hold on. Send me goddamn messages. Let me change this. Hold on. But yeah, it just came up with like a Bitcoin passport. And it's basically, if you use Bitcoin and that little, it's not a real passport. A lot of people think it's a passport, but it's not a real passport. You would get discounts from different hotels and businesses. So El Salvador, a lot of people don't know that they did a massive crime sweep and they arrested like 30, 40,000 gang members. And I believe it's in hopes of bringing tourism to El Salvador. Okay. Let me, okay, I got it. Okay, let me make sure I remember. I'm having a hard time. Yeah, I think so, CC92. I think so. Well, that's the thing about these bots. YouTube actually self-audits itself. So whoever's botting people channels, you're wasting your money for the most part. Because like I say, once YouTube self-audits itself and see the traffic is coming from an outside source, everything goes back to normal. All right, let me just go ahead and ban something. Somebody says the sewer chicks is cooked. All right, let me just get some of these guys up out of here. And I dropped a link if you guys want to pull up. Yeah, it actually is on subscribers only. It's on subscribers only now. Dow Travels are running things out in Pattaya. How are you going to call Charles Cosby a snitch? Well, he snitched. It's public record that he snitched. Yeah, El Salvador, yeah. I think Brazil is still a good place to go too. I still think Brazil, is popping. If you can find you a good apartment in Brazil, I think you would have a good time in Brazil too. You just got to really know how to move in Brazil. Like, Brazil is one of the places that I've seen people go to, Rio in particular. I've seen guys go out there and say they didn't have a good time because they go to Copacabana, they go to a little restaurant on the beach that everybody goes to, and they go to the Christ Redeemer. They might take a favela tour, and they might have went during the wrong time of the year. They might have went during the winter, Brazil's winter, which is our summertime. So you just got to kind of know exactly how to move when you go to Brazil. You know, you might want to get like a tour guide or a fixer. Brazil is beautiful, man. I mean, a lot of people don't go to the North Zone. They say the North Zone of Rio is dangerous. I went out there. I had a good time. Nobody paid me any attention. It's all black and brown pretty much in the North Zone. So, like I said, we had cameras out there and everything. We was filming out there. I had a good time in the North Zone. That's where Casa Black Rio is, the 24-hour barbershop, and Via Dutu, the line dancing under underpass. So you still can have a good time in Rio too. All right. Yeah, I'm scamming through your comments here. Don't worry about the bots, guys. They're gonna be going in a second. OpK 100. Venezuela is good to go. I think they're more attractive than Colombia. Venezuela has a lot of Pocahontas. Yeah. Venezuela, are like, they're mixed like a mug. All right. Venezuelans are definitely mixed. There's a ton of Venezuelans in Medellin, bro. A lot of them cool. I had a lot of Venezuelan friends. They wanted me to go to Venezuela. I still was I was like, I don't know if I want to go to Venezuela. But yeah, Venezuelan women are very beautiful. They're very beautiful. There's a lot of them laid back too. Yeah, it should be on subscribers mode. Is it now? Let me see. It should be on subscribers mode. Hold on, family. Let me double check. Hold on. It should already be on subscribers mode. Let me see. Is it not on subscribers? It must not be on subscribers mode. That might be what it is. It was supposed to be on subscribers mode. Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can do that. That's a good idea. Like I said, it's supposed to be already on subscribers mode. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, no shit. Hold on, family. Let me Get some straightening out here. Thailand is beautiful. Yeah, those bots, they hitting a lot of channels, man. Some little African dudes doing that shit. Yeah, Casa Black is nice. Casa Black is cool, but you gotta have your Portuguese on point. Yeah, Don Bay speaks a little Portuguese. He speaks Portuguese, so his experience is going to be pretty good out there. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Look, I'm coming through kind of blurry too for some reason. Ronald Chaluki 8730 says, I haven't been to Caracas since 1987. It was at least 10 or 15 to 1 ratio of women to men, and most women was 7 in body and looks. Damn, you been to Caracas in 1987? I know it was popping back then. So much of the African tell the dude we should work on getting him deported buys. Yeah, bro, that shit's so low class. You botting folks' channels and shit. That shit's so low class, bro. Paying for this shit at that. Or you might not be paying. You might just got your little African little homeboy doing this shit, but that shit don't work. Okay, the cabbage gotta be good. Hold on. Hold on. All right. I'm just seeing. All right. All right, let me go back to this again. Hold on, let me just clean this up. I'm gonna give you guys some. I'm gonna get some more mods in here as well. Yeah, some little idiot. Like I say, as you guys can see, the bots are going off now. It just takes a little time for YouTube to correct it. What up, Data CPA? What's good? What's good, bro? Let me get this situation straight. Let me see. Okay. So much I love Classic Black Rio. I did a whole video on that. Let me get this little troll out of there. All right, Drew G07, Drew double score. Hold on, family. Let me fix some of the stuff while I'm here. All right. My man said he was going to Caracas since 1987, not 97, 87. Okay. He was going in the Michael Jackson era. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's going on? Give me one sec.
Okay, take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, what's going on, man? So, I just came in. I was just listening to something else, but I think it's great. I think it's a good thing that I want to say getting attacks from different people. I just think now two things. I think it will help us be more adaptable. We're just gonna have to adapt, and I think it's good. You know how I hate to bring it back to Star Wars, but you know how after Order 66, like the Jedi, they had to adapt. They couldn't just be like, oh, we have the Jedi Temple, we could just do whatever we want. We could go about how we want freely, or not necessarily freely, but we have the upper hand and stuff like that. We could flex a little bit. I think men are just that are traveling, they're gonna have to be able to just adapt and understand that no one is really, a lot of people, unfortunately, there's a lot of black men that don't like to see that you're happy. Like they just don't. You have to accept that. That's why you see online who gives the most pushback, especially when we have the panels, it's the men. Oh, there's nothing wrong. This is what's wrong with here. What's wrong with either they say what's wrong with America or what's wrong with the woman here. It's like I've come to terms.
Plantation bros.
Yeah, and it's not even just like the woman. I be telling dudes like I bring up the social scene. If you want to take out the woman, bring up the social scene. Clubbing is dead. I've noticed because I'll be going to Brazil next month. But it's like you notice in Brazil, like you go to any club, people are dancing. No one is like sitting around on their phone. Even all of not even the guys that are in this space, the people that are like vlogging in Brazil, even people it's their first time. Like it don't matter what club it is. It could be somewhere in Barra de Juca or it can be in Pedro do Sal. Like people are dancing. It reminds you of like the 90s and the 2000s. You're not seeing that anymore. That's why I be telling niggas like, wake up. The fact that you can go to any American club. They saying the clubs are dying because men are not going there because the women don't want to interact with the men, and they just want to dance with their friends. Or all the dudes are mean mugging, right? And we're talking about black clubs. We know black clubs who didn't want to go to a black club? If you know you wanted to get lit, you wanted to have some good dancing fun, you went to either a black or Hispanic club. If you wanted, you wanted to dance, right? Ever since like the 80s, 90s, you want to have a nice night out. Ask anybody of any race, where you gonna go? You're gonna go to the black club, right? That's where disco came from. That's where Saturday Night Live, all that stuff came from. Is really originated with black FBA black people, and then they brought it off and to put it into something else. But it just goes to show you, like you had that, and you didn't have to pay there was no such thing as sections. You weren't paying $50 for a parking space, and you're from Atlanta. You lived in the golden age of it all, right? But it's the mere fact that's dying. Like brothers have to understand that America is on a decline on every kind of level. And me personally, God willing, I don't know what's gonna personally. I don't know how I'm gonna fare out by the end of the year. But my goal is by Thanksgiving, I'm out this country, right? Hopefully I can go to Rio. Like I've done enough research. I've been studying Portuguese since like late September. Like I've done my due diligence. I know what I need. I know what I need to succeed. But it's like guys have to understand that America's not the end all be all, man. It's really not. Think about it. We got 50-year. Trump is talking about 50-year mortgages, bro. Like, if you could figure out a way to not have to overpay for a house and take that money and invest it into somewhere else, like buy a house in Costa Rica or somewhere else in Central America, or
buy apartment in Cartagena or Medellin or something.
Notice guys, I didn't even say Brazil. Like me, I would definitely, if I could buy a nice little two studios in like Sao Paulo, man, I'm set for life. I'm not gonna be spending my 40s, 50s, 50 years until I'm like literally on my deathbed, and my kid's gonna have to pay for it. And that's just in general. That doesn't mean, I mean, you have to be making like close to 6 figures like every year for the next 40 or 50 years. So that means you're gonna have to be grinding harder just to get a overinflated house, man. Like America's kind of cooked, bro. I think about it like me. I was doing my MBA last year and I was working like 2 jobs, and I'm thinking to myself, like my dad, I mean, like my grandfather is Jamaican. He came to this country. You know, he used to do in the 90s. He used to fix VCRs, bro.
Oh shit.
Now think about that. Now think about it. In the 90s, this man was fixing VCRs. Ever since I knew him, he lived in a Mount Kisco. That's where like Hillary Clinton's like family from. So this is an upscale like white area, right? So the man was making money. Ever since I knew him before I was 10, this dude he always had a BMW convertible, and then he had the family car, right? Meanwhile, look at me. I'm twice as educated as him, but like I have to work 2 jobs in order to make it ends meet in like New York, right? Like I'm telling you, like America's on the decline. I'm not saying like I'm perfect, but if you have a college education, you shouldn't be struggling. Or if you did it the right way and you didn't get a degree that's not in nothing crap, it shouldn't be that much of a struggle to have the American dream. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
You know,
That's
somebody said the American dream requires you to be asleep. It low key is, because a lot of dudes not really thinking about this. Like, he's not even saying, hey, we're gonna bring down the interest rate. We're gonna make sure that BlackRock is not buying up all these houses. They're telling you, oh, well, you know, we're gonna add an extra. We're gonna, instead of a 40-year, 30-year mortgage, we're gonna make it 50 years. That means you're gonna be paying more interest into the system. That America's you're made to be a debt slave. And then when you tell dudes this, a lot of black men, they're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with America. There's nothing wrong with the American woman. Like, no, bro, it's a microcosm of a lot of stuff, man.
Well, you know what, man? I always say when you talk with brothers, you got to take what they say with a grain of salt. You know, just about how we program, how the way we raised. Every brother's a subject expert. They don't be knowing what the hell they be talking about. They be speaking emotion first. You know, if they feel a certain way, that'll be their baseline. So, like, a lot of cats don't even know that there are already expat communities overseas. There are already thousands of Japanese in Brazil. There are already thousands of Europeans and Russians in Pattaya. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're already moving from the Western countries, right, for a lower cost of living. And yes, every country has their own version of the matrix. But if you come from the empire of it all, then your your currency will help you in, pretty much liberating yourself financially.
Global arbitrage.
Right. So yeah. a lot of these people, they've been doing this for years, bro. They've been having certain areas and certain cities. They expat into the United States sometimes to get a whole bunch of tax breaks and tax write-offs, and they can get SBA loans and all types of shit. But we might not be able to get that for whatever reason.
Right.
Think about a lot of stuff is like people are just kind of late to the party. We're the last ones always to the party. And when you think about something different and it hasn't been co-signed by the powers that be, or haven't been co-signed with, let's just say, whiteness, you're going to get a lot of pushback from black people in general, right? That's why they make it sound like the passport bros is just one thing. Oh, it's just guys going overseas tricking. Oh, it's not guys going overseas buying properties. It's not guys going overseas opening up businesses. It's not guys overseas getting married. It's not guys going overseas, buying houses, damn near cash. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing, man. Like I said, you got to take, when brothers talk about like with a grain of salt, because a lot of cats don't know what the hell they be talking about. Man.
That's true. And I think for a lot of dudes, they know the truth, but they, unfortunately, because, we're in a matriarchy, a lot of dudes they feel like they need permission to go.
They need permission to go, right?
Yeah, like they feel like, oh, like if I go, that means I quit. It's like, no, like if Apple leaves America, look at Trump. Trump is begging people forcing people, bullying people to bring back jobs here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if companies have the foresight to be able to leave and say, hey, I know where I can get a better bang for my buck, or I know I can reduce my expenses, then why would you as an individual, why wouldn't you do that? I never understood why people say like, oh, they just want you for your money, or you want to take the, like Minister Jab said, oh, you want it easy. Like, dude, like, is life supposed to be hard? Shouldn't the goal of life is to figure out how to make your life easier year by year? Like, you don't go through life, the struggles that you go through as a man at 21, I wouldn't expect to be going through it at 50. If you do, that means you've done something wrong.
Well, like it's all about like our success barometer as a, and we're talking just specifically about us as as the Black community, ethnic group, where it's like our success is having good credit so we can get loans to pay for houses that we can't really afford, to pay for a car that we can't really afford in the first place. So our success is kind of climbing out of debt, but being the option of being able to get debt. Like that's success in a lot of cases, So like I said before, a lot of the times we just behind the marker. And when you introduce something to other Black people, you're going to always get that Harriet Tubman type of pushback, right?
Right.
It has to be sinister since it's coming from another Black person. It has to be sinister. It cannot be right, right? So it's a lot of programming, man. It's like I say, we can go in for days and days about the programming of Americans in general, especially Black Americans. But
you know what I realized too? Like, I have to get out of that mindset that like, if you're not making six figures or you're not trying to achieve six figures, you ain't really ish, right? Like let's say if I'm in Brazil and I'm making 75, 80K and I have a family, I can't be thinking in the back of my mind, damn, I had this goal of 100K. Why am I not doing more? Like sometimes in life, it's okay to be content with like, okay, are you taking care of your family? Yes. Are you providing for your family, or is your family without? Do they need anything? Are they wanting for anything? No. Okay, then like if I'm in Brazil and if I'm married and I have one or two kids and they're living off of 80K and they're doing well in school or something like that, it's okay if I'm not trying to reach for the 150K, trying to buy this, that, and the third. Like you have to, it's the rat race, man. And like you got to really think about it. Like if you go to another country, you know how affordable, or like if you're making 75K in Brazil, you're pretty much good. You're pretty much upper middle class. So like you gotta think to yourself, okay, like my expenses are less than 4,000. Like I'm good. I've made it in life. You're not a less of a person if you're not making six figures. But I was debating that dude Nana, man. I was like, yo, like he was all over the place talking about. I asked him, so what makes somebody a passport bro? And he said, it's if a person is traveling and they're dealing with women that and they're having sex with women overseas. So I'm like, so that can be any Black person that goes over. He's like, I'm like, any Black man that goes overseas and has any kind of romantic relationship with the woman. He's like, oh well, yes, because I don't make the rules. It's whatever people say it is. That's what it is. And I'm like, dude, like, it's like, I'm like, who puts you in charge? And he's calling me xenophobic and stuff like that. I'm like, you're supposed to be the king of Zamunda, where you're telling men that if you go overseas to find another woman, you're a sex tourist. We're not talking about tricking. We're not talking about buying, whatever. We're talking about you for the mere fact that you're going overseas trying to find different kinds of women, right? And the funny thing is, this dude said I asked him, I said, have you ever had a relationship with a woman overseas? Mind you, this dude is from Ghana. And he said no. Then like 2 minutes later, he said, oh, he went to school in Russia and he used to have like Russian girlfriends or whatnot. And I'm like, dude, like you just lied to me. You said, so you were from Africa. You didn't stay in Africa and quote unquote help build. You went to school in Russia, basically Europe. Then you went back to Colombia. You stayed in Colombia for a couple years, but you're mad at brothers for going to different places. And it's like I don't, I'm like the hypocrisy of it all. And then it's like on top of that, it's like what I was gonna say, we know how British and European men get down in Ghana and in Kenya. We know about the British soldiers that go to Kenya and get women there pregnant. Same thing with when the Chinese come over there and get them pregnant and then just be deadbeat dads. We know how that goes down. But I asked him about that. He was just hemming and hawing. And I'm like, bro, like we can't. I get it. He's not FBA, so he's gonna feel as though it's a little hater kind of thing of being antagonistic. But it's like, if I'm not bothering you and if I'm a black man and I'm doing my thing, like you should stay in your own lane. And then he was saying some crazy stuff. He was like, he's happy when he find out that men get drugged. And I'm like, dude, you on some other stuff, man. I had to realize like there's some dudes that just it's really haters, man. They just don't want to see other people happy, other black men happy.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. I don't even like mentioning that cat name, bro. It's like he's just clout chasing. He's just trying to clout chase and get a shot. He's gonna end up losing that bad boy if he keep on messing around. But he just clout. And then crazy part is, we've seen these trolls come and go. We've had trolls before.
Yeah,
they
we
always
know.
get their channel deleted or get banned from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of time, bro. Like it's just a matter of time. YouTube doesn't want. They want engagement. All right. They want like debates. They want back and forth, but they don't really want somebody that's just harassing people and biting people's channels. And, that's what they don't want on their platform. And, like I say, YouTube will get them out the game eventually. Because the thing about YouTube is you actually have to make content like that's actually good. So in a lot of cases, they might shadow ban them and stuff like that,
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Another thing that irks me too, I had to get it off my chest. Why people I had to ask them about it. I'm like, yo, is BMT, is Zuma Thailand, and Andre, are they the same as somebody like a J Rello? J Rello's on some, like, remember that?
Andre did a video about J Rello. It was something. I didn't get the chance to check it out, but it was some shit.
J Rello's like the black version of the Jackass movies, like just doing stuff that's degenerate stuff. They say he was crashing cars in DR. Like, bro, like you can't compare that to what you're doing, what Andre is doing, and what Zuna Thailand is. That's like saying, oh, Jeopardy, the show Jeopardy is the same as the Bad Girls Club. It's like, bro, like those are two different things, two different types of people. And I don't like how I know you're familiar with Roberto versus the World.
You know what? I actually forgot to play his video. He got deported from Colombia, right?
Yes, but no one is bringing that up. And come to find out, he's from I think they say he's from Sweden, but I thought he was Latino, but I don't think he's Brazilian, but I know he's from somewhere. But it's like this dude got deported, and it's funny because I know we got our issues with Austin, but it's like he's done worse than what Austin has done, and everybody's chill with it. Like he don't get that kind of smoke, That's why we have our gripes with what Austin did, but it's like I'm like, damn, I still feel bad for how the whole thing with Brazil had played out, because it's like Roberto versus the World. He did all of that. He was doing crazy stuff in Europe.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm talking about, and in Brazil, right? And in Colombia, all over the place. He'll go up, and the crazy thing is, he had one video. He was going up to women asking them, "Oh, I like your toes" and stuff like that. It's like Austin wasn't doing none of that stuff, and everybody was getting on. Also, like, you should have never did that. You see what happened? They kicked you out of Brazil. No, everybody going. No black man could go to Brazil, and I'm like, bruh. I'm like, why niggas are so scary, bro?
Shout out to my man Cerebral Aptitude with a $50 super chat, man. Once again, man, I really appreciate that. He dropped a big one on me last stream I did. He said, fam, don't you ever let anyone tell you what to do with your life. Ever. Here in Thailand or anywhere. We definitely agree with that. Appreciate that, Cerebral Aptitude. I'm gonna hit you up on WhatsApp too, man. We gotta do that interview. It's gonna be a great interview, bro. All right. And I want to play real quick. I'm going to play Roberto's video, but I want to just show you. Hold hold on, I just had it pulled up. Because guys were talking about Casa Black. I actually did a video about the North Zone. Let me play a little bit of it here. And Brazil is a dope vibe, fam. It's a dope vibe. Like,
Real live out here. It's popping out here, man.
all right, I'm gonna skip through a little bit to the little ride and show. I just want to show you guys. Hold on.
I remember that video. I was watching that video recently when you were in Pedro de Sal. That was nice.
And it looks a little sketchy, but it don't nobody pay you no attention out there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I never had anything like this either. Never in my life. Never seen something like this. YouTube. No.
It had be like 2 a.m. out there. He talking about some YouTube.
You on YouTube. Hello, America. Get your hair cut.
Have you been out there, Azrael? Uh-oh, I think I froze.
Okay, no. I was no. I'm good. I'm trying to help in the chat. I'm trying to like delete stuff. I'm my first time I'm gonna go there next month, God willing. Now I genuinely want to move out there, man. I've been looking at apartments. I'm looking at trying to get a digital nomad visa. I've been linking up with I talk with Fred, vibing with Fred a lot. Like at least
be
like
careful.
once.
Hey, make sure you know what you're doing when they come into apartments, man. Them apartments is something else out there. That's the only little sketch thing about Brazil. You know that though. But.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's crazy. But
she's like, I don't know what the hell you said. Hey, it's a vibe out there, bro. It's a vibe out there, man.
And I take Portuguese lessons 3 times a week. My teacher's from Rio, so.
Okay. You get that Portuguese down, you in the game. This is such a beautiful language. It's the most beautiful language that I ever heard in my life, bro.
Yeah, I agree. To me, it's like between French and Portuguese. But for me, I think that's why I wanted to learn. As soon as I come back, I'm gonna learn French. Because to me, I think some of the most beautiful Black women I've ever seen usually speak French. They either speak French or Portuguese. And
okay, yeah, I can say that.
There's 3 countries.
What's that? Cape Verde speaks French, right?
No, they speak Portuguese.
I mean Portuguese, right? I say Portuguese. Okay.
They speak Portuguese, but like Cameroon, I think Senegal, a couple other places. There's like I think a third of like African countries speak French. But here's the thing: there's 3 spots, and I'm putting this out there for you guys so you can actually move outside of just going to like DR or Colombia. You have Marrakesh.
Yeah.
I believe they speak French. Martinique, Reunion, and there's somewhere else. I forgot. Guadeloupe. You know,
I want to just comment real quick. This is a good one. It says people love framing Black American men for the sake of other races, in my opinion. That is 100% true. Especially some of them Africans. They really do be feeling like they're going to get one up on us by doing that. Not knowing that, man, them folks do not care about you, bro. They look at you they look at you actually worse than they look at us, because they at least know that we the culture. Like, we're the culture of America. So they look at us a certain way. But, bro, have you heard that Mzungu song? We play this Mzungu song. Don't nobody respect you worshiping somebody else. Yeah, that's Casa Black, by the way.
With the Norte Sul Norte.
They be. Remember you were saying dancing? How they be still dancing? They be still dancing. Yeah. And these girls are all there that night, by the way. Okay, the trolls are gone, family. The blitz is over with. We back 138 in the room, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button. We back in.
You know
back
what
in the game.
You're gonna have to figure out, maybe do something like you know how they put a timer on, like you gotta be a subscriber for an hour.
I got that, man. I don't know what happened today. That's actually on. That's why I've been checking over and over again. But I go back into it. We're gonna get some of these guys on up out of here. Miles, do your thing. But yeah, that's Casa Black Rio, man.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say, somebody said because I haven't been out there. So I've been to like over 20 countries, and I've been to some countries for like I've left the States when I was like a teenager for like almost 3 months. I haven't I'm not like, yeah, I haven't been to Brazil yet, but it's not gonna be a thing of like, oh, I wouldn't know what to do. Like I said, I've September would make a year that I've been learning Portuguese. So I'm not gonna go there just like not knowing what to do. I've been doing research about it since last year, and I'll be able to figure it out. I think I like the challenge actually too, because he's like, they say like 95% of the people there don't even speak English, and of those 5% that do, it's not fluent. So like I feel like I would like the challenge. It will force me to like grow and do better. And okay, I know that I can't just get away with just speaking English, so it's gonna force me to like pick up the speed of if I want stuff,
I asked Chat GPT. I was writing a blog, and I asked, and I already kind of knew this, but I asked what was the best countries for Black Americans to expat, to go to, move to, basically. And Brazil was there.
Thailand,
of course, was there. Colombia was there. I believe it was Portugal was there. And let me look up the fifth one. It was actually the fifth one.
I was in Lisbon November. It's nice. It's real nice. It's a perfect balance, because you got a lot of Black people there from Angola, Mozambique, Cape Verde. So you're gonna always have your little enclave of Black people that you can hang around with. It's and it's very affordable. If you could make like $70K and live there, you're good. Like I bought $50 worth of groceries, and it lasted me like 2 weeks, to the point that I had to give away some of the food because I just had too much food.
Let me see if I can. They always switching some shit up on the. I'm trying to see what was the fourth one.
Probably was Mexico, maybe.
It wasn't Mexico. Okay, here we go. Number 1 was Brazil. 2 was Colombia. 3 was Portugal. 4 was Ghana. And 5 was Thailand. All right. And I agree with that, man. Living out of the 5, I lived in 3. And I totally agree with that. Like in Brazil, you're just going to blend in like everybody else, but you're going to have your American dollar. Colombia is, man, they treated me really well in Colombia. I really enjoyed living in Colombia. Sketchy, dangerous at times, but it's more like about classism than it is racism in Colombia. It's a break, right? And I know a lot of Black Americans need that break from just all the following you in the stores and shit. Like that shit is a breath of fresh air, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go in somewhere and nobody looks at you, nobody pays you any mind. I mean, it's just dope, man. So I definitely agree with that top 5. Like I said, I lived in 3 out of 5. Can't wait to go to Ghana, to go to Africa. Definitely gonna go to Africa maybe towards the end of this year. But I definitely agree. Colombia is beautiful, man. I really enjoy living in Medellin. I really enjoy living in Rio. And it was cool. What was I with Thailand? Of course, I'm in Thailand. Thailand is dope. Yeah. The thing about Thailand that people gotta understand, it's different for everybody, right? So if you have kids and you enter the kids, if they're not going to international school, by the way, Thailand just made it to where all public Thai schools have to accept children no matter their nationality. They just did that. So if you got kids, you can actually bring them to Thailand, but just know that all Asian societies are a bit xenophobic. What I mean by that is it's not necessarily racism as a group holding resources from you, but there is that you don't look like me, so I'm going to pick on you. And that might be what you have to worry about if you have kids. The school system, you have to educate your kids on, hey, you look different. They're going to treat you different. You know,
it's more, different. It's more homogenic, as they would say, like a homogenous society.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically, if you look at, because my wife always watching these Korean movies, like Korea pretty much sets the beauty standard around Asia. You know, and they pretty much keep the darker skinned Asians off of all the big movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So you only see one version of the Asian. Well, you got a lot of Asians, especially in Southeast Asia and Thailand and Cambodia, that's our complexion, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go out my neighborhood, you will see brown skinned. But I'm saying this specifically for the women that travel. They might have an issue with them not being part of the beauty standard. We know as men, you know, it's about our resources and our paper and our ground and shit like that. It's not all about the money, but we don't have to actually abide by the beauty standard. But here in Asia, white is money, is right. It's a status symbol. The whiter your skin is, the darker your skin is, the less opportunities they assume that you have and that you're poor and you work on a farm. The thing about Asians that I noticed is if Asians stay out in this hot ass sun near the equator, they're going to turn brown.
They look like, they all
my chair.
Any Asian that stay out in the sun too long, they're gonna look like they from like Philippines or Cambodia.
Now, it means that Thailand doesn't have anti-black racism. I don't know if you can call it anti-black racism. Racism is like a group sport. Like if we're talking about prejudice and xenophobia, I can agree to that. Living here almost 3 years now. But it's because I've been in these spaces. I go, you know, up there and, you know, all my wife and everything, and I'm like the only black person, and I might get a few little looks, but it's nothing like America's racism. You know what I'm saying? Like racism, like I said, that's denying a certain group opportunities and stuff like that, having certain things in place to deny them resources or opportunities. They don't have that because they don't have to have that.
Right.
But they do have a melanated. They do have darker skinned Thai people that I feel like might necessarily have the opportunities, but my wife says different. She says no, dark skinned Thais do have good jobs and everything too. So it's just confusing here because our definition of racism is going to be different. Can you go anywhere in Thailand as a black person? Yes. Okay, you can go anywhere in Thailand. You're not going to be disrespected. You're not going to feel a certain way. Can you get a job in Thailand? Probably not. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, that's most countries, to be honest with you. That's
right. And like I said before, no, white is definitely white. It's definitely the beauty standard here. And that can be confused to racism. And they do say little mean things. They might call you a monkey or some shit like that. But it's not like they hanging niggas or they, you know what I'm saying? They got
no
KKK.
There's no Asian Nick Fuentes.
No, it's none of that shit. No, it's none of that shit. It's not.
I'll say this: the best treatment I ever got was in Japan. I will not. You can't deny me that fact. The best treatment I ever got was in Japan. Like, for real. I've told this story several times. I always tell it. Me and my uncle were on the train. The dude is like 6'4", and it was a Japanese lady sitting next to him. And she looked at me, looked at him, and looked at me again and asked me if I wanted to sit. And I said, dozo, it's like it's okay. And she said, no, I insist, and got up. You're not going to get that from no race of people as a black man in America. No one is going to get up out of their seat unless you're an old man, maybe, and give you your seat, right? Like you said, it's more about class and, you know, depending on what part of the country you're in. But I'll say this, you have a higher chance of being followed in a store in America than you would in any place in Asia. Because first, yeah, go ahead.
Now I want to say what Nat Measy, he was saying black Americans don't get like Africans. That's true too. You know, it's strange, right? Like even in the DR, when I was moving around San Domingo, I was asked constantly where I was from. You know, like they'd be like, "Are you Dominican?" Or yeah, like I get that like all the time, and then I say, "Oh, I'm American," and it's like okay, you know. here in Thailand, if you're, moving around, moving and shaking, they're going to eventually ask you where you're from. You say American, and they say, oh, that's specifically because, they are curious about where you're from, but there are a lot of Africans committing crimes in Thailand. I'm just calling a spade a spade.
There's a lot of scamming Africans.
I'm gonna call it a spade here, fellas. Like it's not. As somebody said in the comment section, because I did a stream about, they call this Africa scammer group out here. I did a stream about it. I'm putting that stream back up, by the way. And they were saying I was hating on Africans. I'm just like, no, I'm telling you what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you what's going on out here. Like, they do differentiate between the nationalities more so than, oh, you black. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of helps distinguish, because Americans are just looked at as a foreign group with money, whether you black or white.
Exactly.
Right. That's just the way it is.
People hear your American accent, you get smiles all over the place because they want your money. I've experienced people say, and I'm not going to deny like Paris or France don't got this racism, but I'm definitely treated differently. Not big of not too big, but I'm definitely treated shown a little bit more deference in France than I am than an African person in France.
I'll tell you, and I never told this story before, but I remember I was in I was like, and I ain't gonna say exactly where these little row of bars at, but it's just some bars out there near John TM. And me and my guy, we just sitting there chilling, having a drink, and some Indians walked in, and they were just totally ignored. They just sat there for about 10 minutes. Then nobody say nothing to them. They end up walking off to another bar. And then I was just like, y'all ain't see them people right there? And they was like, oh, we don't cater to them, or they're not welcome here type shit.
Damn.
Thai person, Thai waitress. And I was just like, I didn't know what to think. I'm like, usually that's on us, but like you said, they know that we are American.
They got a term for that too, right? They call Southeast Asians are called jungle Asians, actually.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Rude Moon Child 929 says, if you live in a Western country of all kinds, you're dealing with systematic racism. Exactly. Dealing with something that's systematic. You're dealing with redlining, dealing with, declines of loans, all types of stuff you're dealing with, versus you being an expat, you would just be considered to be American. All right?
Yeah. I mean, that might be a way to insulate you from racism, man. Like, people think about it. Man.
We got Rolling in the building.
Expand the FBA diaspora. Go somewhere else.
Yeah. Shout out Tariq Nasheed, man. Tariq he's so funny style, bro. Like, he's so funny style. He got that thing.
He in Senegal right now.
Well, he was. He's back now, but my thing is, man, the number one reason, in my opinion, the reason that we are in the position that we are in, and I always felt like one of my friends of mine asked me, he was just like, he was like, I'm a black conservative, and some guys are black liberals. You talk about the Corey Holcomb and the Anton Daniels thing. He's like, well, what are you? I said, bro, I'm a passport, bro. I ain't none of that shit. I ain't black conservative. I ain't black liberal. I ain't none of that. I'm a passport, bro. I believe in having a global strategy. I believe in, having multiple passports, multiple bank accounts, having a home-based country, going to different other countries, having a 3-country strategy. Like my whole mindset is different. And I believe that the number one reason that FBAs are, of course we know it's systematic racism. It's just the fact that we don't get along enough to work together like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, if that's the case, then to me, the whole FBA thing is a nothing burger, because we still don't work together enough to really do anything of substance in the United States. And the way business works is you don't get none for just by asking for reparations. You got to have leverage to get reparations. The only way we will ever get reparations is if we get them and have to leave. Okay. Abraham Lincoln brought in all the thought leaders back in the day. A lot of people don't know this. He brought in Frederick Douglass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was to move us to Liberia, Panama, or Belize. He was like, hey, You're still going to be in U.S. territory. We're going to give you coal as an economic floor. You can go over here because you're never going to get a fair shake in the mainland United States. And those thought leaders at that time turned it down, which in my opinion, we could have been, Puerto Rico. We could have been messed up in the game. I don't know. But I think that we should still had that as an option. Not just Liberia, but we should have had Panama. We got the Panama Canal. We should have our own little.
And imagine black people having a Panama. We'd be
That's what I'm saying, bro.
We'd be up there with God's chosen. If you know, you know.
But with Tariq, it's just about, man, people been asking for reparations for 60 years. They don't mean they gotta give it to us, bro. Yeah. They're not gonna give it to us. We don't got no leverage.
And the funny thing is, shocking. I'm not FBA, but I definitely believe that black people in America should get it because of the fact that people always bring it up to slavery. It's like it's not about slavery. What about Jim Crow? What about Reconstruction? Like you have black people coming back from the war and couldn't get a GI Bill. To me, that's crazy, right? That's a whole generation of displacement of wealth, right? So it's like if let's say you're the same age as a white dude, his grandfather had a GI Bill so he could buy a loan with the house, right? Buy a house with the loan, but your grandfather didn't. But he's gonna say, "Hey, don't blame me. I don't have any. I'm not racist." It's like, no, it's not about you. It's the fact that there was institutions that held us back, right, or held black people in America back, but they weren't holding you back because they had to give. If you think about history, they had to give, especially with the FDR, the New Deal, they had to give white people these GI Bills and build all these what you call suburbia, which is what we know now as suburbia, like the levee towns, these little enclaves of suburbs, right, where they get these houses because they were coming out of the Great Recession. They were dealing with a gilded age where all the money was out of the banks. People lost all their money. They had to bail them out. Black people never got that. Black people didn't get the New Deal. Black military soldiers never came back. They never got no GI Bill. It's like there has to be some kind of compensation for that. On top of the fact that we're not even talking about redlining, the fact that America admitted that they flooded the neighborhood with drugs. Like I don't know how anybody could disagree. There should be some kind of compensation for that if your own government admitted that they flooded your neighborhoods with drugs. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're a conservative, libertarian, whatever, right? Now, I agree with you. You're not going to get it until you get some kind of economic leverage, But, yeah, man, black people deserve it. I mean, you fought in every war in this country. Most people of any ancestry can't say that. Black people fought in every single war in this country.
Somebody said, Tariq think that we can just withhold our votes and force reparations. Exactly. That shit, they don't give a fuck about the popular vote, bruh. They don't care about that.
Your vote really, and by the next 2 terms, your vote not gonna mean anything because we're below replacement levels. We have a negative birth rate, borderline, close to -1, right? So you haven't, with the unfortunately combined having the Planned Parenthood, I'll just say that that doesn't really help black people. We're at 14%. We should have really been at least 30 to 35%. We should have been 1/3 of the American population, man.
But you know what, though? Shout out to Africa, man, because Africa has a very young population. They're saying that as far as melanated people, Afro people, going to be 40% of the world population.
I heard that.
Yeah, they're going to be like, so, and the thing is, out here, it's not being reported a lot. But my wife was telling me, she was like, out here is a negative birth rate too.
Wow.
She was like, all across Asia, there's very much a negative birth rate. And I told her why. She didn't agree with why I said why. I told her why, but I was like, yo, it's their version of feminism, and it's the homosexuality, basically. Too many guys are participating in that lifestyle. Y'all not having enough kids right now.
Wow.
She didn't agree with me, though. Shout out to my man, Nat. Yeah, I dropped the chat. I dropped the link, bro. Go ahead and pull up. Shout out to my man, Nat Measy with $6 super chat. What up, Ron? If you're welcome to come on the show, too, Ron, I just dropped the link.
Somebody, Trent's
Somebody said
6.
we're more like 18%. You know what? This is what I will say about this, man. You know, I'm disappointed in Tariq Nasheed because he had an app, social network called More Us. He raised money for it for whatever reason. And back then, it was very difficult to build a social network. It cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Developers are notorious for getting over on people.
Yeah.
But I think that was because he has the platform to be able to populate a community. And because we don't have our own platforms, we don't talk about the real issues that affect us daily. When I went back to Atlanta a couple of years, like last year sometime, bro, when I say the majority of women that I saw were LGBT, they were LGBT. To me, that's one of the biggest facing problems in America within the Black community today, because your young Black son might not have many options. You know, he might not. I'm not saying they're not good Black women, because they are. There are a lot of good Black women out there. I'm just telling you that his options might be limited when half the high schools is LGBT now.
Yeah. We didn't.
When I got to Atlanta airport, all I saw was the Bulls. That's all I saw was studs.
Bulls.
Everywhere. Studs everywhere. I remember this. Hey, this is when I knew. I'm gonna bring my man Nack on. This is when I knew shit had changed. This was like maybe 2019, 2018. I'm in a bar. I see a nice young lady standing by herself. I go approach the sister. I'm talking to the sister for about a good 10, 15 minutes. I'm buying drink number 3, and a stud walks up and say, "Hey, appreciate you, homie," and walks off with her. She met up with a stud. After I bought this girl 3-4 drinks, I'm just sitting here like, I wasn't even mad though. I was just like, huh.
Ain't that a yeah.
But see, I don't get mad because I'm just sitting here like, I don't want to deal with you anyway. If that's what you're doing, thank you. At least I know up front to not waste my time with you.
You know, I was gonna say one thing. Do you know they showed like from every generation, like for example, like the boomers, it was like 2% of people were LGBTQ, whatever, and it doubles every year. So like for the Xers, it was like 4. For millennials, it's like 8. Now they're like saying it's close to like 25% of like Gen Zers.
Bro, it's a lot. It's a lot. To me, that's a problem. What up, Nat?
Peace, brothers. How y'all doing? What up, BMT? How you doing, other brother? I can't see what your name is.
Just call me Az.
All right, Az. So look, man, long time no speak. You talking about reparations in Thailand and blackism and stuff. I wanted to cook on that, or at least, give my opinion. I'll start with all right, thank you, bro. I want to start with Indians in Thailand. Indians, as of the last 10 years, have started getting a bad name. Prior to the iPhone, Indians were welcomed. Okay. When I say that, they have a status that is not a falang. Indians are technically considered cat, which means like a visitor. They have a similar culture. Their language is in Bali Sanskrit. So that's why there's so many Indians out there. But then a lot of new Indians or the newer generation started coming, importing like the Indian effery that they do in India. And that's why you're starting to see a clash. And a lot of the people that are overtly speaking out against Indians are not even Thai, because Thai ain't going to really tell you in your face that they don't rock with you. They'll give you a halfway smile and like ignore you. But it's a lot of the Europeans. Nah, for real. It's a lot of the Europeans. It's a lot of the Europeans, like the English, who have like a contentious relationship with Indians in England and stuff like that. So when it comes to the R word, can I say it on here? Racism?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't gonna say the other one. When it comes to that with racism out there, the racism that you get and that I'm speaking about, anti-black, normally does not come from Thai people. It comes from expats that bring that nonsense with them from overseas.
Facts.
Have you ever seen a Nazi flag in Pattaya?
I've seen dudes wear Nazi shirts in Pattaya.
Thank you. So when I first saw what I thought was a Nazi,
Shout out to my brother James. James went to like walked right up the four of them and started talking his shit. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
James, but good.
What's the point of that though? Like you in another country and you wearing Nazi stuff. Wouldn't you want to be quote unquote around people of the Aryan race?
But Nat, was it the because it's a symbol that looks like a Nazi symbol that they adapted, but it's one that's like an Indian symbol, right?
No, yeah, and I was going to speak on that. The one that I'm talking about was like Europeans rocking it for what they know it means. But I was at a camp like '07, and a Thai guy had one tattooed on the web of his left hand, like the web of his between his two fingers. And I'm looking at him like, yo, what's that? And he explained to me that it's actually an original Bali Sanskrit symbol, not what the bastardized versions what the Europeans use. So back to the Europeans Nepalese, if you ever walk past a tailor shop, they're gonna come at you with this yo 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 hip hop. I'll make you a Steve Harvey suit, my nigga, type of talk because they stereotype the hell out of us, but you don't get it from Thai people. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I mean, the anti-black racism. As it relates to black Africans, look, before Sukhumvit and them selling drugs and crack on Sukhumvit, there were things like the black money scam. Do you know about the black money scam?
No.
The black money scam is they talk about excuse me if I'm screaming, I'm in my whip. They talk about political unrest in their country, and they had to leave with a bunch of cash. But the cash, so they can sneak it out through the x-ray, had to be covered with black ink. They show you a bottle with this liquid of a soap that cleans the black ink off. They say, if you buy more soap for me, I'll give you half or 25% of this 1 million. And the soap is expensive. It's like 1,000, 2,000, and people fall for it, give them that money, and they disappear. So a lot of West Africans specifically were targeting tourists, Thai women, and that's when a lot of the negative stereotypes about Africans started coming, and then they started really getting more inroads in terms of the drug trade in Bangkok. In Phuket, Thais are not politically correct, but I've seen headlines where, just Nigerian drug deal, and it happens to mostly be Nigerians. No shade to them, but they don't have a good rep in Thailand, so to speak. But like I said, they know the difference between us and them. I was racially profiled by a police officer in Bangkok who didn't think I was African, but he thought I was a Brazilian, and he targeted me because he thought that I overstayed. So he literally followed me by there's a train station. I don't know if it's the BMT or whichever the one that goes underground by Queen City Kid train station, because I came from this area where a lot of the fighters came from. So he followed me 3 blocks, stopped me, and was like, passport. So I said, yeah, here. When he heard my voice, he said, oh, no, never mind. I thought you were Brazilian because the Brazilians were overstaying. So you're not going to find Thai people just overtly discriminating against Black Americans. If anything, Black Americans have Black American privilege in Thailand.
Facts. What's going on, Ronan?
What's going on, bro?
Hey, you got the wrong flag in the background. That's supposed to be Atlanta Falcons flag, brother. It's not a Kansas City flag, bro. What's going on?
You ain't never gonna get me to cross that line, bro.
What's going on?
Even my
brother?
uncle lives in Atlanta. He still claims the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh man,
nobody claiming your team, man.
Come on, man. Come on now. What's good, bro? What's going on with you, man?
Good, man. Just enjoying the conversation, brother. Here in the Philippines, and I would say a lot of countries, I don't know if you could necessarily, like you said, it can be adopted racism based on the foreigners that came here from other countries, Western countries that are white, but really it's about classism and colorism more so.
Facts, yes,
everybody has colonized or been colonized by either, the Spaniards, the Portuguese, and so on. Obviously here in the Philippines, it was the Spaniards. You know how it is down in Brazil, Colombia, and everywhere else that the Spaniards had that the Spaniards had colonized. It's always about lighter is a higher class. They get more access to things and so on. You know, the Eta people are one of the most original genetics that you can find outside of Africa. Is right here in the Philippines. Then you also had the Buffalo Soldiers that came over here and helped fight in the Spanish-American War directly after the Civil War. So it's like you said, that there's a whole Black American pro-access here as well as in Thailand, because they understand the connective history between us as far as Black Americans and their culture. You know, so it's more about colorism and feeling ashamed because of the colonized mindset that they have. That's why a lot of these Asian countries dye their skin for access, more so than anything else. They're outside working in the fields. That means they don't have money. It's classism, and that comes into colorism more so than anything else, not racism, because that has to be taught. They have to be taught to hate a certain race. That's called racism. And they don't have that here. They just identify skin color.
Nat, would you agree with that, Nat?
Absolutely. I mean, he hit the nail on the head. I'm not familiar with the Philippines, but like he mentioned, there is, you know, they understand the legacy of Black Americans worldwide. Let's say that off the rip. What I did want to speak about is from the Vietnam War. Okay. It was white GIs. They were white GIs that were teaching Vietnamese the N-word and to discriminate against Black American soldiers. And there's documentaries on this. And the similar thing happens in Thailand as well. You have these racist Europeans that will catch a 808 straggler, right? Somebody that wasn't picked up in 808, and then tell them like, oh yeah, oh, don't go with these guys, blah, 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 and teach them all the negative things. But now in the new age, a lot of our younger brothers are going there teaching these Thai women the N-word. So they're dropping N-words. They're, yo, what's up, my N-word? And I'm just like, wow. So I don't like the way that it's going. But the original people that were doing that were Europeans bringing their racist sentiment, Europeans and white Americans, their racist sentiment to Southeast Asia, teaching them what it was. And a Thai woman, if you go with them, right, they're going to be a chameleon. They'll be whatever you want to be so that you can pay them. So if a white guy wants her to be racist, she's going to spit those racist talking points to him, but then she'll try to be yo, my nigga with you. I remember I was in 808, right, for Dolo, drinking Nam Saparot, pineapple juice, right? And some lady came up to me. She's like, I don't like Black people. So I'm looking at her. So what the hell are you talking to me for, right? She says, but I like you. You're not same African. So at that point, I had to make a conscious decision. Do you accept this backwards ass compliment, which is really shade to Africans, or do you check them? So I tried to check her, but it goes in one ear and out the other because she thought she was flattering me. But she understood the difference between Africans and Black Americans. But, you know, I think with social media and stuff, like, trust me, guys, I was there before the first iPhone, right? When Nokia was still popping, I was out there. So back to the subject of the show, the golden era is gone. Regardless of what you want to go out there for, the golden era is gone. Thailand is getting away from being a destination that's affordable, blah, blah, blah. They want to attract high value tourists, okay, who just spend a lot of money and bounce. Once they see that a pattern in your visa renewals, your border runs, they're going to constantly make it harder. They're always tweaking it to try to get that right balance to keep people that have income that's constantly generating, as opposed to the broke expat that's just staying there. Like, if you got this in your search history, can I live in Thailand for €1,000 or $1,000 a month? They don't want you, because they're looking at you like you a brokey. So look, ask any of your brothers or our brothers who got, these golden visas and they're paying 17 and 30,000 for a visa. They always tweak it and they try to make it worse. So you can't own property. You can own this, but you can't own that. They're making it uncomfortable so that you spend your money and bounce. And I'm gonna drop the mic right there.
Yeah, that's true. As a matter of fact, they questioning your income. They want to see income when you come into Thailand now. I've never seen them do that before. So you're right. Somebody said, I agree, golden era is over. Ronnie, what do you, I want your opinion on that. You've been traveling for a long time, brother. Like, do you think the golden era of travel is over? Like the cheap destinations, stuff like that, low cost of living, the girlfriend experience, you think is over with?
From what I remember and what's going on now, the thrill is gone when it comes to the experience of the American man or the exposure to a foreigner in a lot of these countries the minute cell phones came out, the minute the internet came out, the minute you had a global environment controlled on your freaking phone is when the era started to change. Now it's not the newness of it. It's like, damn, they have so much money and they're so wealthy that that individual country, how can I get a piece of it? And they're taking lessons from some of the westernized women on how to run game on American men, especially in countries that weren't visited by veterans like us. Veterans went to, Japan, Thailand, Philippines. We had bases here. Anywhere globally there was a base. They were already exposed to us, but it was still there a newness of being exposed to a lot of foreigners or American foreigners specifically, and then after that, like I said, the more modernization, the more exposure globally through the internet of them seeing what we have available to us, the more it started becoming a game. How much can we get from them? Do I really need to marry this foreigner or can I fleece him, in some aspects? And so what I've done and what I tell people to do, you really need to vet a lot of these women on their intention. And it can't be immediate. It's going to take time. Like when I first got here, I took my time, 30 days here, 30 days in the province, before I even met up with my girl. You know what I'm saying? And then I met her family. And then I started seeing her family interaction. So you got to really break this down to understand that if they're fascinated because you're an American or they're really fascinated because of you. And then exposing them to money. A lot of these women have never seen the kind of money you make. Even though it might be a little bit of money to you, $3-4 grand a month or whatever, it's a shit ton of money to them. And if you expose them too fast, too quickly to that, nobody appreciates money that they don't have to earn. You understand what I'm saying? They think
bars. That kind of went over my head for a minute. Okay, yeah.
It just gets printed like automatically. You just call that shit up. They didn't have to work hard to get it. They don't know what it took to get it. They didn't know how many hours you had to put in to get that kind of money. They just think you have it.
What they call it, the value of a dollar, right?
Right. They don't understand the value of a dollar. Just like kids. Kids don't understand the value of hard work when you just give them things and spoil them. It's not until they have to go out and do it themselves do they realize what the effort is behind that dollar. And so when you go to these countries and you expose them to all this extravagance and the level that you come in at, even though it's normal for you, it's exceptionally abnormal for them. So
okay, hold on, Ronald, real quick. So I want your guys' opinion, just not you, Ronald, but I want the panel's opinion. Now, you keep saying vet, but this guy was with this woman for 3 years. All right. I read a story earlier. It seemed like he vetted her, and by month 3, she was cheating on him. She brought him back to the States, got married. He said he paid the Lord, did all the paperwork. For 3 years now, first few weeks was cool, first month was cool. By month 3, she's cheating on him with a coworker. What type of vetting can you do when you talk to somebody you date somebody for 3 years?
I didn't think you could come directly back to America and start working.
He must have got her a work permit, some type of work permit.
What was she doing? What was she doing
I
before?
had to work. You couldn't afford to bring her back without putting her out there for other people to be exposed to her and ease into that shit.
Yeah, he said he slept with a coworker. I'm like, damn.
There's no point in bringing.
And you know what happened, right? You know, he probably brought her. He got her the job. You know, you know how dudes be plotting on these. You know how shit goes.
Of course. Work husband shit.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying just keep her home, basically? We bring her back to the States, don't have her work?
There's no point in bringing anybody back to America. I hate to say this. People going to be like, oh, they're treasonous. America's a cancer, bro, in the sense of it's not pro-family, man. It's just so many things that are against you having a nuclear family than it is for you having one.
It's not about America and whether they're pro-family. It's about the woman that you're with and whether she's pro-family.
No, but I mean, there's so it's like when you know, like what an actuary does. It's like they calculate.
I'm an insurance guy. Of course, I know what an actuary is.
Exactly. So you know, like they're calculating the risk assessment. Like there's more bad than there is good. Like if it's not the potential of your woman going AWOL, it's the fact that how they indoctrinate kids, whether it's with the LGBTQ stuff or the fact that they bunch of Marxist stuff and what have you.
The whole thing is, even with that, Azrael, if you think about it, it's the parents exposing their kids to it because they don't want to spend the time with their kids teaching them in the house. They let them watch TV. They let the teacher say whatever the hell they want. They put them in front of a game or a TV show instead of spending time with the kids because both of them are working, both of them are tired. This is the problem. You're not really keeping a nuclear family when you got both parents working, trying to hustle and do everything they need to do, but you're not watching your own kids. What's the point of having them if you can't spend the time with them and you can't raise them and you can't instill your own morals and values in them because you letting other people do it for you?
I'm glad you mentioned that. And that's why I believe you should keep them here, because if you have disposable income where your wife can stay at home,
right,
that will be better. In America, it's not. They don't like. That's what I mean by it's not pro-family. They're not gonna build.
I want to jump in here.
I'm almost done. America's not a society that's conducive to where your wife can stay home unless you make like twice the household income. So I mean, you got to be grinding your butt off just so that she can stay home, so that your kids can't be indoctrinated. You know what I mean? It's like it's just too many variables that you can't control. As what they say, military fighting wars on multiple fronts. It's like it's not ideal, man. But go ahead.
All right. So whenever someone speaks down on my beautiful country, the greatest country in the world, I always got to give educated pushback. It's not about America. It's about the woman you choose. Okay. Here in Europe, they have naked people on TV. They will literally show man butt cheeks on TV. At school, they're giving them sex education at a very, very early age. There's indoctrination on the TV in terms of LGBT. This is Europe, okay? It's a very free sexual society. Kids are smoking extremely early. They're having babies extremely early. In Europe, Western Europe, where I am at, Thailand, you want to talk about LGBT? I mean, they have schoolboys, 8, 9 years old, a couple of times a year, or they wear lipstick.
Bro,
they have a culture. They have a culture of lady boys and things of that. So it's not.
Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just got to tell a quick little segue story. I'm gonna get right back to you, Neck.
Yes, sir.
I was at my wife's, college and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the only brother there, so I'm looking around, seeing all the people dancing and everything. I'm thinking how conservative it is. I'm like, oh, this is real nice and conservative and okay, clean and everything. Then all of a sudden, it was like 10, 12 students that got up and just started dancing like they were lady boys. They started dancing and twerking. I'm just sitting here like, hey, this is a school. Like, what the fuck? Like, where this come in at? Like, these. Yeah. And this just drew a whole argument. I'm just sitting here like they're just kids. They don't know what they like yet. Like how they, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You believe in Santa
anyway,
Right.
Claus and shit.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you're 100% right. That shit is baked into the culture out here, bro.
Thank you,
Like,
BMT, and that's what I'm talking about. And if you look at the culture or the dynamic between men and women in Thailand specifically, men work, women a lot of times they run the money. That's why you see a lot of women business owners, right? So a lot of times in the family unit, the man doesn't have anything to say. So if she is not fond of her husband, she will teach her kids to be disrespectful to her husband. Okay. So everything that we say is in America is also outside of America. So it goes back to who you choose and can you regulate or can you lead your woman? If you can't do it in America, you can't do it overseas. So it's
Correct.
not about America being, the boogeyman. It's just that America, if you ain't got hustle, then you're gonna fail. If you are a hustler and you got it, then you can get it. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why people are almost dying in the desert to get to the greatest country in the world. You know what I'm saying? I went to Thailand, bro. Imagine this, y'all. Whoever's been to Asia, you get off a plane and you jump in a taxi. There's no translation app. There's no Google Translate that's readily available in your hand. So you had to study Thai before you got there. And then you ask them to take you to an internet cafe where you got to get on dial-up internet to send an email back to work and say, yo, I'm here, or send an email to your family. That's when Thailand was popping back then. So the internet started to send it down or open the coffin. Mobile internet, the cell phone, put the nail in the coffin. Now check this out. Thai, traditional women, right? No, if there's internet, they out there thotting. Before there was a mobile phone, you know what they had? Internet cafes. So you'd have a whole bunch of women at different stalls talking to each other, finding out that they was chatting to the same dude.
is
So
that
one
is that is
female
that more
chatting
the
to like
Philippines
five
or
different
Thailand? That's more like Philippines and
Thailand
Thailand.
and the Philippines. Thailand and the Philippines. So they be working multiple foreigners on Thai lovely, Thai friendly, Filipino, whatever, right? And how I know this is because a guy who used to work for me in New York City, he was on the Philippine shit. I was on my Thailand shit. Everything I'm saying is before I got married, right? So he was out there and he said, yo, I like Philippines because I could make a family and support them with a bag of rice. That's wrong, but that's what his mentality was. He said, he said he caught his shorty because he went through her server. She was chatting to like 5 different foreigners at once. So the whole concept of the farm girl or the girl from the village has been killed by the internet. So should you bring them back to America? If you got a piece of shit woman, she gonna be a piece of shit in America
No
or
matter
the
where she,
Philippines or Thailand. Bars.
no matter where she at, she gonna be a piece of shit.
Mm.
I'm gonna tell y'all my plans right now. I'm bringing my lady back. I'm not staying here. Infrastructure ain't solid, bro. I'm coming back. I'll be back in Texas maybe in about 2 years, depending on immigration, what's going on.
Is there? Oh, so is it because of the infrastructure and anything else, or?
Yeah, man, I'm a military guy, man. I love America.
Okay.
If I'm gonna buy land, I'm gonna buy land in America first. You get what I'm saying? Why would I buy it in a foreign country?
I mean, I guess maybe I'm not trying to bring an age thing into it. I just the concept of like I don't want to deal with the 50-year mortgage. And I know you don't have to have a 50-year mortgage to get a decent house, but it's just for what I would prefer. I know I wouldn't be able to
Let me say this.
in America.
I don't care how long the mortgage is because I know insurance, I know how to work finances, and all you have to do is buy a mortgage-related insurance policy. When you die, it pays the mortgage off. Who
That
cares?
is true.
It depreciates over the time that you're making your payments. If you happen to die before the mortgage is paid, the insurance policy pays off the difference, and a house is free and clear.
So
and it's in a trust, so then you don't have to worry about probate court and none of that. You can how the trust works, where the money goes. I'm a financial guy. You ain't gonna scare me about money and somebody taking shit from me.
So,
You
so
get
I
what
got
I'm saying?
yeah, I got a question for you too. What outside of the Philippines, what other country you like? And then I'm gonna ask like a follow-up question for that.
The other country I would like is a westernized country would be Australia or New Zealand.
Okay, let's say, well, perfect, New Zealand. Let's say where everybody, I've heard no bad words about New Zealand. People that anybody has been there, they love it. They always tell me that. Let's say you were able to buy 2 houses in New Zealand, right? But you were able to afford to buy 2, like let's say 2 condos in New Zealand. Compared to in America, you can only buy 1 property. I'm just saying hypothetically. You wouldn't buy those 2 properties in New Zealand? If you had to choose between the 1 property in America and the 2 properties in New Zealand.
What's the value of the 2 properties in New Zealand versus the one in America?
See, that is a very good question, but the reason why I asked it too is because, for example, I've had realtors come up to call me, and I still have their number and everything, and they'll offer me like, oh, there's studios you can buy in Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo is still growing, and it's becoming like a big, is increasing to the point like almost like Mexico City, where there's expats going there for business and whatnot. It's like the South America, Manhattan, the Manhattan of South America, right? It's still growing and it's still like expanding and whatnot. To me, I think that's a more viable asset and an easier market to get into than, I mean, well, I guess it might depend because I'm from New York, so it's totally different ball game. But I would think if I could buy, they were offering one studio for like $80K. So it's like, damn, if I buy 2 or 3 of them that's like buying a house in America for like $250. I buy 3 studios. That's each month of passive income for 1 house is like almost $1,000. So I mean, I'm making like $3,000 a month in my sleep. That's what
My question for you is in reverse. What, because of some of the dilapidation in certain neighborhoods in America, what if you could buy a house for $25,000 and fix it up and it flips over to $300,000 in America? Why would you buy in a foreign country when you can do it here?
Now, I agree with it, but here's the caveat. This is the X factor to it. What we always say about real estate, location, location, location. It's great to be able to buy a house that's worth that amount, but you got to look at the logistics, particularly in America, because you can buy a house that's worth $50K, but then are there going to be enough? Is there an economy there where there are going to be people there that that's going to be there long term, where it doesn't take them 2 hours
Let me stop you there and just say you're thinking of more so rate of return on the front end. It's still a net asset. It still goes in your portfolio. It still goes in your trust. It still has a net value, but it has a greater net value because it's American property versus a foreign property.
Right. But let me ask you,
all goes in your net assets.
Okay, I'm gonna give you.
There's a lot of people that buy land and never develop it. They'll just hold on to it for the development area. It might warrant that they're going to put a strip mall there, or there's going to be something growing there in the near future. If you look at the city planners, that's the best place to go before you buy property, just to see if it's worthwhile to even buy into that investment if you look at the future projected growth.
That is true. I guess it's maybe we're looking at it more than one way to skin a cat, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly my point. Yeah. It's more than one way to still get to your marker without actually having to leave the United States to do it. I'm not that guy.
I always wanted a house in California. I love LA anywhere.
It's a great investment, but let me tell you, I came from California, and I told a lot of my people, I had over 5,000 clients at once. A lot of my people sold their houses in California and brought down south, and they used the rest for investment, travel, everything else, and they got the same size house in a whole nother southern country, a southern state in the country.
That's what a lot of people in New York did.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. New Yorkers did that shit too.
Yeah.
Messed our women heads up.
Yeah,
we destroyed Atlanta.
in Florida, yeah, for sure.
Matter of fact, y'all was coming down and y'all was buying women houses. Y'all was buying strippers houses and shit like that too.
That is true. Earlier last week, man, the The weather, I
Radio
hate New
check.
York, man. It's like the weather was like literally waking up. It's like 7 degrees outside. I hate that shit for the life of me. That's why
Yo,
people like want to go to Brazil.
salute to the panel.
What's up, Brooklyn?
Salute.
Yeah,
What's
I didn't
good?
get to say salute. Salute the man. Salute the Nat. Salute the Ronan. Salute the Oswell. I think I went to school with you, Oswell. You look familiar, bro.
Brooklyn,
But
I
salute
got
the
I got
BMT.
to apologize to you, bro, because I thought you was another Brooklyn. It's a hater named Brooklyn something, so I had to make sure you wasn't that guy.
Oh,
I know
nah.
he's
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. Yo, Oswell, I went to transit and boys and girls. I think you went to one of them shit. I don't know.
I went to
But
transit.
yeah, I remember you was skinny back then. I remember.
Oh
But
shit!
yeah,
Yeah, see, I'm back.
yeah. Salute
I did.
though. But yeah, now I wanted to add in on what Nakmeezy was saying about the Indians and the Africans because I'm in Phnom Penh, and it's nothing but Africans in my hotel all throughout
That's
Phnom Penh, and
that's Cambodia.
yeah, in Cambodia. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
it's
And
hella
bro,
Africans in Cambodia. They be acting funny
yo,
style
bro,
too, man.
they act super funny style in
They be
the
acting funny
hotel with me,
style,
bro.
bro.
I say what up. Niggas will look at me funny. Even a female, bro. I seen an African female. She was showing me like, you know what I'm saying? Like a little disdain. You feel me? And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I already knew that because even when I was in Thailand, and y'all already know how they are in Thailand. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same way out here in Cambodia. You know what I'm saying? And
Radio check.
with the and with the Indians though, I don't know what it is. It's like some Southeast Asia takeover. Like they everywhere over here, bro. You heard? They
That's how,
everywhere, bro.
that's how they took over Silicon Valley, man. They just one person gets in and they let everybody.
I mean,
Hey
they in
man,
America like that too. If you
Yeah,
notice the
that's
college graduations, it's nothing but Indians
yeah.
all throughout New
you
York
know what,
City, all
man?
throughout other cities.
I noticed that Black Americans in particular are kind of naive because we are raised to look at everybody just as Black, right? So when I'm in Cambodia, and this happened not even too long ago when I was up in with my wife's hometown or near her hometown, and of course I'm the only Black person in the store. I see another Black person. You know how we do as Black Americans.
Head
Mm-hmm.
bob.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing. Like just ignore. And when I was in Cambodia, Brooklyn, same thing. I'm kind of just doing that Black folk chick. I'm like, okay, I'm the only Negro in here. Okay, that's cool. Everything cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see some brothers over there. Hey, brother. Nothing. Straight ice
Nothing.
cold. And I'm just like, oh, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm running
He
up
don't
on
know
them.
the code.
I'm from Cameroon.
That's an African man. He don't know the code.
Say what now? What'd you say, Rhoda?
He's an African. Obviously, he don't know the code. He ain't came from
Yeah.
America.
He don't have the code.
Bob. That
Nah,
chest,
bro.
you don't know none of that
But
shit.
it's just not even the
Yo.
hair, Bob. It's just the acknowledgement. Like we the only two brown skinned people from.
But you competition to him.
Maybe
Nah,
so.
I think it's more than that, Ronan.
They cosplaying being American until a real American shows up.
Mm.
But look,
Man,
but look, Ronan.
Yeah.
Like, yo, bro, I know somebody else out here. He's Jamaican, but he was born in New York, right? But I don't know if he look African to them, but they be saying what up to him, bro. Like he walk past them, they head nod, they say what up, all that, bro. But when they see me, a light-skinned Negro, they like, this nigga's American. Them niggas do not say nothing to me, you heard?
Radio check.
Nothing.
Oh shit.
NBA Akata.
Yo, let's jump in on this shit, bro. First of all, BMT, if there's more people from New York and they claim me from Brooklyn, my brother's from Brooklyn. I'm the king of Brooklyn, man, straight up. I'm the only one that can rep Brooklyn like it's supposed to rep. You heard?
Hilarious.
Ain't you
But
from
nah, check this out.
Canarsie,
Yeah, the borough.
Nah,
beast.
fuck out of here. Y'all some Park Slope ass niggas.
I'm actually from Bushwick, but I live in Crown Heights. But Brooklyn, me and
Yeah, I'm crying.
yeah, we see.
Me
But we
too.
went to
Pacific.
we went to high school near
Lincoln.
across from we went to Lincoln. See, I went to school across from the pink houses, you know. So
Yeah, we went to transit.
yeah, hell on earth, man. As Prodigy would say, bro, it's hell on earth. You know, so.
Hey, hold
Yo,
on,
let me
real
talk
quick.
about Cambodia and them Africans real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Nat. Go ahead.
I did a visa run to Phnom Penh, right? First of all, the tuk-tuk driver from the airport pulled me into this little ass alley and shit, talking about you have to fix his brakes. I had to get Brooklyn on him and make him take me to the hotel, right? But when I'm on a boardwalk, there were some Africans. And matter of fact, they were specifically Biafrans. And Biafrans are Igbos that want separation from Nigeria. They wanted absolutely, they wouldn't even look at me, bro. Was trying to do the um international black man acknowledgement. They saw, cut their eyes, and kept going. I'm like, what? I ran into a black American who was in the service. We went to some hip hop club in Phnom Penh. Nothing but Nigerians in there. They ignored us, and it's just like Ronan said, they cosplay a black American, and when a real black American pulls up, they pull away because it's like the show's over. It used to happen in Pattaya. Matter of fact, it still happens out there. You know what I'm saying? They cosplay like yo hip hop shit, but then behind your back, they calling you an akata. You know what I'm saying? And I asked the brother, I said, yo, why don't the Africans show us love out here? He's like, because they act like they us. Then when we come, the jig is up.
Facts.
Is it the fact that you think that Africans feel like we are the unruly blacks? Like, how dare us challenge the powers that be?
No, I think so. There's a secret. There is a jealousy.
Yep.
Because if you're a black American, if you're even a black Caribbean, right? Look, let's keep it 100. Black Caribbeans and Africans, they have a closer bond, right? But even with that, I know some Africans here that absolutely hate people from Suriname and the Caribbean. There is a jealousy because we're not even supposed to have survived. We were sold off and sold off for dead, essentially. Not only did we survive, we thrived to become the most popular, the highest producing, the most educated, the most vibrant, the most colorful black people to ever walk the planet. So when they see that, it's like, who these niggas think they are? In their mind, we're still descendants of slaves, right? That they sold and discarded, but then we come back balling. All the bitches want us. We got the good exchange rates. We got, you know what I'm saying? We look different. We got certain features, and I'm not trying to big up any European admixture, but I'm just saying, shit that we have, a lot of them be sitting in a toxic acid bath trying to get our skin color. You see what I'm saying? So
class envy.
There's jealousy there.
Yeah, it's a class envy. Because think about it too. When you think about somebody black, ask anybody from around the world, right, that is non-black. They don't think about an African person. They're probably gonna think about somebody that's American, right? When you think, oh, do you know 5 famous black people? They're probably not gonna name somebody from Africa. It's gonna be probably, they're gonna say
them Africans, they be cosplaying us hard, bro. Because it was this young 16-year-old Cambodian kid. He ran up to me. He said, "Yo, you black? Like, where you from?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm American." He said his mentor is black, and I said, "Where he from? Africa, America?" He said, "He from Africa." You know what I'm saying? And like he was just trying to relate to me because his mentor was black, and I already knew what it was. I'm like, all right, his mentor acting like he one of us.
Yes.
So yeah, whatever he was mentoring him, I don't know what he was doing with him, but he was acting like he was one of us. So the young homie, he thought, I guess maybe we were similar. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But
I want to bring it back real quick. I did the poll. Is it about vetting the woman to bring her back to the U.S. or no? 52% said no. I want to ask you, Ronan. Like what is your vetting process? Like, is it time? Is it years? Is it certain questions? Because in my opinion, I mean, you can vet all you want. You really don't ever truly know somebody's intentions unless you test them very severely. So what's your vetting? How do you vet?
Same thing. I mean, time, verifying, checking, re-verifying, communication, being present. Obviously, I vetted her for over a year on the phone and video calls and everything else before I even showed up.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
And then
go ahead.
Yeah,
but,
my opinion. Yeah, my fault.
Now we're here. Now I'm here, at least for a year in this same place where I'm leasing. And then after that, it gets into the process of getting to a point where I can bring her back. But all the while, you're still looking at the family. You're seeing how she interacts with her family. Is she always on the phone? Does she conform to society, Western society? Does she believe everything she sees online? Is she an independent thinker, or is she somebody that doesn't go along with what society norms are? Society norms would be adapted as basically Westernized mentality. My lady might look at Westernized mentality and say, why the fuck do they do that?
Yeah, mine too.
Why they do that.
Yeah,
you know,
too.
My lady's family is always around her. Matter of fact, they do most of the shopping. They do everything for me because if I show up, obviously I'm getting foreigner tag, you know. But at the same time, I look at what she does. I bought a truck. We waited a couple months before I bought the truck. Guess what? Rims, tires, snorkel, antenna, struts put on the car, a lift, spacers, all that was paid for by her. How many women you know follow through on what they do behind what they know their man likes? If you're not vetting properly, is she investing as much in the relationship as you are, or are you putting 100% in and she's just taking? It has to be some kind of reciprocity, as you say, in a relationship, even in the dating and vetting space before you even get married. You guys have to come to an agreement. You have to have an understanding that together you guys are going to get a lot further than individually.
Bars.
And if you don't see that, if you don't see that integration happening in the process, then that's a no.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that, but I wanted to say like I think it's situational, right? I think people don't test people in certain situations because situations awaken different characteristics. It's like you can have a best friend that you grew up with, but you never seen him around money. You know what I'm saying? And then when you finally get some money, he probably scam you or something like that. Yeah. Or you finally you get some kind a bad girlfriend around him. He probably try to, do your girl, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You never. So I think it's situational. I think a lot of people don't test these girls in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? They just go home with them. They have private time with them, and they enjoy their time, and they never get to see them around many different men. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then in America, 48 laws of power. One of the laws of power was to never put people in a position where they don't need you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he was putting her in a position where she don't need him no more, and it's a couple variables. You know what I mean?
Machiavelli.
Everybody's not the same. Everybody didn't grow up the same. Everybody's life experiences are the same. And some people haven't learned from their fucking mistakes. They're still doomed to continue to repeat them. As a man, if you're not a whole man, you can't control your situation no matter where you are. No matter how much money you have, how much fame you got, it doesn't matter about any of that. If you don't know who you are, all that shit goes aside, man. If you don't have
self-confidence,
yeah,
you.
Jump in, bro.
Hey, you. All right, so on some grimy Brooklyn shit, right? When you're talking about females that's abroad, I love everything Ronan said, and my brother Brooklyn, they speak in facts. Is she a liability or an asset? That's the first question. When you're on her home court, does she have pull? Is she at the bottom of the barrel of her society? Right?
Did you meet her?
If she doesn't have, what happened?
I said, did you meet her in Parquet Areas?
Exactly. Right? Does she have some status? Does she have ambition? Right? Does she pick up on cues? Does she see what piques your interest and then go cop it for you? Right. Can she cop it for you? Or the only thing she can do is regurgitate your own money? Right? Like, oh, I bought you something. I bought you a gift. But you just sent her $1,000 on Western Union. You bought yourself a gift that she chose. Now we're going to get to the grimy shit. If you're not living with her, then you got to do the international pop-up. Because they'll all tell you, oh, I in bed think about you, I cry, I look picture, I think about you, I cry, right? And then pop up on them. If they pass the pop-up, then you got to check the phone. I'm not talking about apps that you can't read in time. You check Google Maps location history. So she said she's sleeping but you see that she's at 808 and then some hotel in Jomtien, then you don't bring her back. And people say, "Oh well, you're insecure." No, it's talk about an investment. We are the power. We are the money. We are the men, right? So for you to, there's certain hoops that you got to jump through to prove that you worth me dealing with, especially if I'm fitting to bring you back. So you got to check every single box. Does she pass the background check? And the background check is going through that phone, looking at her friends, because if her friends are thoughts, she's a thought. You understand what I'm saying? Phone,
Bro,
Google history, and the pop-up. You got to pop up on them.
I try, bro, when I be seeing some of this stuff out here, I just be like, yo, if her friend is an 808 regular, bro, that's not a good sign, dude.
Yo, BMT, where's son from? I mean, where's he at? He in Thailand or he in
That's Medellin. Medellin.
Yeah, like some Spanish joint. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I remember this, I remember this guy. I ain't gonna say his name none, but this guy was, he was bodybuilding and everything like that. Looked great for his age. He's about 53 at the time, like he was 38. And he had this woman that he put through school in San Domingo, Dominican woman he had put through school. And what he would do is he would go to Sosua, have his fun, and then he would go down to San Domingo, but he would act like he just flew into San Domingo, right? So one time, this was like Super Bowl weekend, he's in Sosua, and guess who he sees? He sees the girl he'd been putting through school in Santo Domingo. So it's tricky, man. It's tricky. He was heartbroken. I was with him when all this was happening. He introduced me to her. She looked like the typical classy woman, but the whole thing about Super Bowl is that a lot of women go to Sosua during the Super Bowl. So it's crazy, man. But you're absolutely right, Nate. You got to pop up. You got to be on it. You got to be on it, bro. You got to see what she's saying.
Go ahead and use the word vigilant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to be, and it's not simping, it's not being insecure. You just gotta validate. But in some cases, bro, I know we be being hard on the guys. Sometimes they just got your number, bro. Let's just be honest here. Sometimes they got your number. Sometimes in the bedroom, she got you. Sometimes in the kitchen, she got you. And you taking the drug they call lust and love, and you mixed it in. And that happens a lot. It was one dude that posted in the group last week, and I know you've heard guys do this. Hey, I want to test my girl, so I'm going to give her Instagram to another dude. You hit her up to see if she's still in the game. And they find out she's still in the game, of course. And it's just like, bro, what did you expect? What did you expect? So, hey.
Yo, BMT, I got to bounce. So can I do my final statement, brother?
Yeah, go ahead. Each his own, but go ahead.
All right. Oh, wait. Somebody else is up?
No, go ahead. Do your thing.
Oh, all right. No doubt. So, look, these nuggets that I'm giving you about Thailand is because I experienced this shit, right? Like when I tell you 07, I talk about the pop-up. I talk about this. Now I'm going to give you the receipts behind the shit. I was rocking with a chick off of MySpace. Y'all remember MySpace back in the day?
Yeah.
This is how old, this is how old we talking, bro. At the time, Thai Airways had an 18-hour flight from JFK straight to Bangkok. I could fly whenever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So we on a MySpace or whatever, yeah, right? Boom, boom, bye, rah, ray. Anytime I pull into Bangkok, her uncle picks me up from the airport, takes me straight to the crib. We in a place that's not a touristy spot. Boom, she had family. I remember one of the kids' names. I call the nigga 10 baht because every time I come through, he asking me for 10 baht. So 10 bahts out there, her sister, uncles, all this, her brother. One of her brothers was a gangster. He had like a snub-nosed 38. Crazy shit, right? So I'm thinking I'm in there like swimwear. You know what I'm saying? Family's picking me up. I'm staying in their house, all of that. I pulled the pop-up. So I called him like, yo, where you at? Oh, I'm in my bed, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, word, open the door. I'm outside. She's like, huh? What hotel you stay? I said, no hotel. Outside. Open door. Yo, she said, okay, 20 minutes. She came from another place, totally dressed up. She was at some bar or some shit. Now, this chick used to work at GM. She worked at the GM plant in Rayong. So she had a legit house, I mean a legit job. She had a family unit. I stayed at the family's house, but they were all in on it. Because when you go out there, you're looked at by many of these women, not all of them, but many of them as a source of income, as a way to get out of poverty. So they're all in on it. So they will literally know that you smashing their sister or their daughter in the next bedroom and be cool with it because they know they're gonna eat well that weekend. You see what I'm saying? So when I say this stuff, it's not because I'm trying to down Thailand, but I'm saying when you have socioeconomic conditions that cause people to look at you as a meal, they're gonna eat if you allow them. So to wrap this up, bro, she had like 3 different she had me on one MySpace and then she had like 3 other MySpaces where she was saying she was looking for a white foreigner and shit. I'm like, yo, these chicks out here is on some crazy game. So I learned about them from '07. So from '07, I had to learn the hard way. So when brothers go out there hugged up and booed up and sending money from abroad, you got to do the pop-up. And even if you don't catch them on a pop-up, 90% chance she fucking around and I'm out.
Yeah, salute, bro.
Let me say something real quick when he says that.
Hold on, I got you, Ron. I got you. Let me catch the super chat real quick. Shout out to my man Turkish Tyrone with the $4.99 super chat, brother. I really appreciate that. He says, "Thanks for the wisdom and insight from you, bros. I consider myself FBA and passport, bro. I own my lineage and my freedom. 1 foot in and out. Black men."
Yeah, I wanted to speak on that.
No, but appreciate the super chat, Turkish Tyrone. Go ahead, Ronan. I got you, Booker. Go ahead, Ronan.
Oh, okay. All I wanted to do was add to what he was saying about, the Western Union poppy. Even here in the Philippines, because they're so used to, they have foreign overseas workers, which is a huge business for Philippines. Their gross domestic product is about 8 to 9% of remit to. Understand what that means? That means they have so many Filipinos outside the country working that remit to, meaning send money back into the country. That's a $38.3 billion freaking GDP globally that comes into the Philippines for foreign overseas workers. If you don't think they're about their business, they're about their business. And that's in every other country too. You can either be part of their business or you can actually be a real part of their society or their culture. You get to pick and choose how you doing that. Go ahead.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about that. I know how BMT feel because I seen the video where Tariq was talking about the passport bros, and I was laughing because I understand he was trying to appeal to his female base. You know what I'm saying? And they do that a lot. A lot of conscious bros, or whatever you want to call them, pro black people. They appeal to the female base. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he was trying to appeal to the female base, but I get it though. When I seen BMT diss him, I understand. You feel me? But yeah, I consider myself FBA.
I don't be dissing Tariq. I don't diss Tariq, bro. Like, you can have your own ideology of what you think that our society should move towards. I think it needs multiple I don't want to say formulas, but multiple solutions to get out of the foot, in my opinion. I think some people need to leave, go establish expat communities elsewhere. I think some people should stay. I think some people should use the political process of voting and doing it the right way. I think some people should do it the wrong way. I think it's a lot, but I don't agree with that. We just hold our vote and that's going to give us hundreds of thousands of dollars of reparations. I don't believe that's going to ever happen.
But you know that the FBA thing is not really about reparations, though. It's just it's more about identity, which
I
leads to
get that.
reparations, if possible.
I get that part. And that's the part I agree with. That's the part I agree with, because for so long, I mean, that has been, destructive within our community. We look at everybody as the same when they have a different agenda than us. Yeah.
Right. And we went so far back in the 70s to say Afro-American instead of what we were before. And that included everybody at that point. But then we had to go back and delineate again because of the non-appreciation of our efforts of why they have the liberation of participating in our system.
It's going to get
here's my biggest thing with that even is everybody always says black people are a day late and a dollar short. If you want something, why didn't you already plan ahead? So when somebody actually does something to delineate and actually plan ahead, regardless if we ever get it or not, it's the action of us going through and saying we need to actually start identifying who is who. Not only because of what's happening within our own culture and our own diaspora, but because of if that event ever happens, they're going to say, y'all had a long enough time to figure out who was who. Why are you waiting until the last minute to do stuff? Don't they say that about us? We always wait till the last minute to want to do something. So that's why it's a good thing.
All right, man. Well, we've been rocking out for about an hour, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show. I appreciate everybody on the panel. I'm gonna start back cranking out these lives again, but I do want to say this before I go, and I got you, Ezra. I want to say this before I go. Recently, the Trump administration took the protection from Haitians away. They're going to start deporting hundreds of thousands of Haitians. To me, that's an innuendo to start harassing anybody that looks Haitian, which most black people can go for Haitian as well, including myself. So just be careful, man. You might have to bring your documents with you everywhere you go. I think what ICE is doing is going to target areas where they know that is a large, immigrant population like their neighborhoods, their business districts. I don't think they're going to be just randomly going to Southwest Atlanta, pulling over random black people because there's just too many of us. But I would just say, this is a time where you might not want to be riding dirty. You might, what I'm saying? You might want to have your license on you, just until this is over with, until this type of governance is over with. Just be careful in your daily activities, man. Azra, do you want to say something before we go?
Oh no, I just wanted to tell Brooklyn to add his info in the back chat. But to that point, it's like that now it sounds like we have to have our papers like we're in Nazi Germany, man. Like that's crazy.
Like I said before, it doesn't make sense for ICE to go to places like Southwest Atlanta or Newark, New Jersey, where they know it's a large population of black people. I don't think they're doing that. I think they're going to go to targeted areas because most of these immigrants have their own little communities, right? Like they got the Somalis and the Eritreans in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and off, Memorial Highway. So they know what areas to go to. But just in your daily activities of just, moving around and moving and shaking, don't argue back and forth. Show them your ID and move on. That's just what it is, man. All right.
But BMT, bro. If you notice, they getting rid of the poor immigrants and they keeping the rich and middle class ones. That's illegally staying too, like the Chinese. It's a lot of Europeans that's overstaying.
They're the ones that are weighing down the system anyway. They're stealing our dollars that should be going to Americans and putting it in towards their own country or keeping it for themselves or whatever.
I think that's how China got rich, bro. I think China got rich off of our.
Yeah, I just went over the $1,000 baby bill that just came out. And a lot of people are pushing back on that. When has the government ever given its citizens $1,000 per child as a head start? That the parents can't mess up. The parent can't take the Social Security number and start running up debt on their damn Social Security number. This kid has a legitimate chance of earning money, and people are pushing back on that too.
Trump babies.
Yeah, I don't care what you call it. I don't care who it is. When is the government giving us? We complain.
I'm gonna get mine too. Shit, I'm gonna get my baby too. Damn that.
We complain when they send money over to Ukraine. We complain when they send money here and there, and we say, why don't they contribute to the American people? Okay, here you go. Now somebody still got something to say.
Right. Well, all right, guys. Once again, don't worry. We're going to do another live stream tomorrow. We tapped out, man. Appreciate everybody on the panel.
Have a good night.
Out.
Salute.